about connecting to your future self. This is going to be kind of a habit building chat on how we can connect to who we want to become. Who is this future self of ours that we want to morph into? So we're going to talk about that today. Before we begin though, you know what to do. Go to the link in my bio or in the description box below. I don't mind if you leave to go grab the bundle and then you can come back to this live, but the bundle link is in my bio or in the description box below to get 83 downloads valued at almost $5,600 for $49. That's all you pay. You just pay $49 and you get to download 83 things, including 8 things from Nate and I. You get, for the $49, you get access to download our brand new Affirmation Meditation Course Challenge. You get Nate's brand new smoothie ebook. You get our burger book. You get Meal Plan Volume 3. You get Make It Raw Volume 3. You get Tales from the Tailgate, our travel ebook. You get so much content from so many other people, including our full day meal prep class. So it's all day meal prep for 2 people on a raw diet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we show you how to do that in an hour on this video. And that's included in the bundle as well. So go grab the bundle if you haven't yet. Link is in my bio or in the description box below. Again, I don't mind if you leave the live to go get the bundle because there's only 5 days left to get this collection, and the vegan health bundle only happens once a year. We're not sure if we're going to do it next year, so go grab it. It would be different next year anyway, so if you like this collection, please go grab it now and get all of those cool, awesome things. So yeah, I want to chat about connecting to your future self. So if you guys have any questions, post in the chat. Inda Golden says, I love you, goddess. Thank you for teaching us how to ascend and love ourselves. You are a blessing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just really want you all to succeed and to shift your core beliefs. That's why I created the Align and Awaken Affirmation Meditation Challenge, because affirmations, I believe, are so powerful when we do them every day. When we're consistent with them, we can change what we believe about ourselves. And my favorite day in the challenge is day 17, which is connecting to your future you. So this live is about that, and it's definitely my favorite one, my favorite topic. I really love talking about this and how you can connect to your future you, because it's hard to do that. We just don't have that connection. We've got a question, does it include raw bread ingredients? So in the bundle, when you buy the bundle, download the Tales from the Tailgate ebook. We have our raw vegan wraps recipe in there. You're also getting a book called The Emotional Belly Cure by Daria Sinetra. She's got a raw bread recipe in there as well. So, there's different raw things in there. About 30% of this bundle is raw focused. So there are 25 things that are raw focused in there. So you get that. When you pay the $49, that's all you pay. You're a blessing to humanity. Keep going. Thank you. Tessa. Hey, Lissa. I got mine last night. I never be hungry again. Exactly. I know there's so many recipes in there. And plus, again, lifetime access to the affirmation course is in there too. So you can access that. Travel One Now says, I'm excited to make the recipe I saw on IG yesterday. So glad I got my bundle. Awesome. So glad you got it too. I hope you enjoy all the goodies in there. And if anyone else wants to get it, you know where to go. Link is in my bio here on Instagram, or it's in the description box below. Only 5 days left to get it. So today I want to talk about 5 ways that you can connect to your future self. So again, as I mentioned, it's really challenging to connect to our future selves because they don't exist yet, but they do exist. They exist because of what you do every day. You are creating your future self based on what you do today. So connecting with our future self is kind of hard. And before we go into my tips here, I want to say one of the things that has really helped me to put myself first and to make sure that I think of my future self is I take my middle name. So my middle name is Eileen, and I think of Eileen as another entity, another person. So I can identify with her. She's the future me, Eileen is. And Eileen's gonna need her lunch. Eileen needs me to make wraps. Eileen needs me to do these things. And this is really good for people who tend to put others first as well. Like, we do everything for our family. Our job comes first. You know, we meet with people before we meet with ourselves. And we put importance on all of these outside people instead of ourselves. So if we can put ourselves in that bunch of outside people, then we are more likely to think of them as well. So take your middle name, for example, or any name that you want to identify with, and think of that person as your future self who's going to want you to do certain things. Does Eileen, for me, does Eileen want me to make her lunch for tomorrow? Does Eileen want me to make a double batch of dressing? Does Eileen want me to go to bed early? Does Eileen want me to go for that workout? Thinking of your future self is really going to help you to make decisions in the present moment, which we'll talk about here. The first tip I have for connecting with your future self is to visualize your future self in detail. And I did a video on this like years and years and years ago, talking about your future self. And I like to say, pretend that you are just sitting on the couch and there's a knock at the door. You go to the door and you open the door and there's your future self. But your future self is in pain, is struggling, is unhealthy, is tired and lethargic and just not feeling good. And you ask this future self, you say, what can I do today to not be where you're at? And your future self says, eat healthy, go to bed early, get that exercise, do all the things. They're gonna say that to you. But pretend that you're sitting on the couch, you got a knock on the door, you open the door, and it's your future self who's fit and energetic and looks super healthy and radiant and is full of life and energy and vibrancy. And you say, wow, what can I do today to get to you? They're gonna say the same things. Eat healthy, exercise, get out in the sun, go to bed on time. Both versions of the future you is going to say the same thing. It's going to tell you to do these things that we already know we should be doing anyways. We just have to start doing them. So if we can picture our future self, who we want to become, what do we want to be experiencing in the future? Because right now is the future that you didn't know existed 10, 15, 20 years ago. And what would you what would you tell yourself back in the day? Like, what would you say to your younger self 5 years ago? Do you wish that you would have worked out every day? Do you wish that you would have eaten healthy every day? Do you wish? Those are things that you can do today. So your future self, when your future self looks back, is proud of you for making those choices, is grateful for making those choices. So identify and visualize your future self. Who is this person? Who do you want to become? What kind of habits are they doing? How energized are they? What kind of things do they do every day, right? You don't want your future self to be a stranger. Your future self is you, and your future self is created by what you do today. What we do every single day is what creates our future. And I love the quote that says, we don't decide our future, but we decide our habits. And our habits decide our future, right? So our habits are so incredibly powerful, and your daily habits in the past have brought you to this day. You right now are the future you from 5 years ago, from last year. What do we wish that we did last year, right? I know many of us, I think almost all of us will look back and say, I wish I would have done this, right? So spend a little bit of time with yourself. Think about who this future person is and what they would want you to be doing, right? So that's a great way to do that. Imagine how they move, how they think, how they feel, again, what their habits are. Who do you want to become? Visualize that future self and spend the time every day thinking of your future self. And like I said, use your middle name if that works, to further solidify who this person is. It's nice to give them a name, even though it's you, but it is helpful in that matter. But the second tip would be to use the future self decision test. So when you come to a decision, whether it's be like, do I make a salad or do I go out for pizza or whatever it is that you tend to default to, right? Because most of the things that we choose are based on habit because we always do it. So when you come to a decision between a salad and pizza, for example, or staying up late and watching that extra episode of Netflix, or going to bed early so you have a good night's sleep. When you come to a decision like that, ask yourself what your future you would like you to do. This is a great way of solidifying habits because you think, what would my future self want me to do right now? And we all know what our future self would love us to do, because if we stay up watching the Netflix, the next day we're like, I wish I would have went to bed early. I would have had a better night's sleep. I would feel so much better right now. So, like, we know what we should be doing. So ask yourself, what would my future self want me to do right now? And that should be your guide as to what to choose, not the immediate reward of whatever it is. Another side bonus when it comes to rewards is to think of all the things you'll feel if you choose the salad or choose going to bed early. Because we're always going to have FOMO. We're always going to have the fear of missing out. We're always going to be missing out on something. If we choose the salad, we're missing out on the pizza. But if we eat the pizza, we're missing out on the health benefits of the salad. So either way, you're going to be missing out on something. So you might as well be missing out on the thing that's no longer helping you, right? So think of that. That can be really helpful. Thinking of the positive rewards that you feel about yourself. I often ask people, give me 5 descriptive words that you feel about yourself emotionally when you choose a salad or when you go to bed early. What do you feel about yourself? And most people can't really think of very many. They might say, I feel healthier, but what do you feel about yourself? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel proud of yourself? Do you feel excited? Do you feel motivated? Do you feel on track? These kinds of things can be really good core motivators to stick to your positive habits. So that's another thing too. Like, think of those things as anchors to making a positive choice, because it's so easy to think of the positives of the habits that we currently do, like having pizza or watching Netflix when we should be going to bed or whatever. Those things give us instant dopamine, and it feels good, it tastes good, it's easy, it's convenient, friends are doing it, whatever, right? It's so easy to make those choices. Harder to make the positive ones because we don't think of the results from those ones as often as we think of the results from the other ones. So thinking of the positive results from a positive choice is more motivating to move towards that direction instead of thinking of the negative results from a negative choice, right? Those aren't as deterring because we're more drawn to reward than we are repelled by negativity. I mean, repelling by negativity does help for some people, but shifting over to thinking of the positive results from a positive choice can be a lot more motivating. Because hey, if being hard on ourselves worked, it would have worked by now. So it's not about being hard on ourselves or like focusing on the negative. Let's shift over to the positive. We have a question in the chat. One can live without oils. Can one live without oils? Yes. I'm now 10 plus years oil-free, completely oil-free. Randomly there might be a little oil in something from a raw restaurant or what have you, but I do not use oils in any of my meals, and it's not in any of my recipes. It's not necessary. It's a fractionated food, so they press out all the fiber. There's not as much nutrition in there. I mean, yeah, you can get some, the healthy fats, obviously, but it's so much better to eat the whole fat. Like, if I want olive oil, I'll just eat the olives. If I want avocado oil, I just eat a whole avocado. If I want almond oil, I just eat almonds. If I want flax oil, just eat the ground flax. So I don't use oils. I choose the whole food in its whole form. Coconut oil I don't use. I just eat coconut, the whole form with the fiber intact. And I use that in my recipes instead. So to answer that quick question, the third tip to connect with your future self would be to write a letter. You can do it 2 ways. You can write a letter to your future self, talking about who you want to become and what you're going to do for them. And you can read it later, like save it in like a time capsule and open it in a year and read that letter that you wrote to your future self. You'd be reading a letter that you wrote to you, in a year from now. Or the second way you can do it is write a letter to yourself today from your future self. So you could pretend it's the you from a year ago and you're writing a letter to yourself today saying, thank you for working out. Thank you for going on that walk. Thank you for choosing the healthy food. Thank you for going to bed early. So you can pretend that you're the future you and you're writing a letter to your present self today to help motivate you to do those things that that person is thanking you for. So that's the third tip to connect to your future self, is to write a letter, again, either to your future self or from your future self to you today. And yeah, it's fun to do those. I do those every once in a while. I'll write it in my notepad and I'll look back at it after a few months and see if I accomplished what I had wanted to. And it's nice to read those letters to ourselves from the past or to the future. Then we have set up future self reminders. This is the fourth tip. Set alarms in your phone or put sticky notes around the house or whatever it might be for you to help remind you to think of your future self. So these little messages in your phone, you can set like little alarms in your calendar and be like, today at 10 a.m., think of your future self by making wraps or whatever it is. Think of your future self by going to bed at 7:30. And when 7:30 alarm comes, you drop what you're doing and you start your night routine, right? That is just, you have to just take the action, and which is like one of the most challenging parts. Yes, it's easy to set the alarm. It's easy to make a plan. It's easy to think about what you want to do. The hard part comes in the action. You have to actually just do it. Just do the thing that you want to be doing because you wanted to do that. And I think I have a YouTube video coming out on this one, is remembering when you originally thought the thing. Okay, I'll share a little bit about this. Say you want to go to bed early tonight. It's like right now it's 11:30 for me in the morning. And if I was thinking today, right now, in this very moment, gosh, I really want to go to bed early tonight. I really want to get a really nice, good night's sleep. I'm feeling it. Like, I really, really want to do that. Come 9 o'clock, when I should be going to bed, I don't think the same way that I do right now. Right now, I might really want to go to bed early, and I really feel it. I'm feeling it like that's really something I want to do, and I'm making a plan in my mind to do it. But when 9 o'clock comes around, I might want to watch an extra episode of Netflix, or I might want to scroll on my phone, or I'm chilling on the couch, doing whatever. I might want to start a movie or something like that. And I forget my original feelings when I wanted to go to bed early. So what I like to recommend and what has worked for me is in that moment where I'm like, oh, I should probably go to bed because I wanted to, I transport myself back to 11:30 a.m. when I told myself I really want to go to bed early, and I embody those emotions. I embody the reason why I wanted to go to bed early, and it really helps me to bring my focus back to what I truly wanted for myself, because those things that we want in the moment instead of our new habit are usually fast dopamine hits, and they're habits. And we want to do these things because it's part of our comfort zone. We don't want to miss out on the episode, even though it's still going to be there the next day. We really have to transport ourselves back to those feelings. And just like feeling the positive effects of a positive choice, we need to feel the reasons why we chose that thing in the first place. Why did we want to go to bed early? Why did we tell ourselves that we wanted to make our lunch for the next day healthy? Why did we tell ourselves these things that we wanted to do if we didn't really truly want to do them? So transporting back to the why can be really helpful when the moment is there, when you don't really want to be doing the thing. You're like, I don't really want to make my lunch. I don't really want to go to bed early. I don't really want to do the workout. Transport yourself back to when you made that plan, when you're like, I want to go work out. I want to go to bed early. I want to eat healthy, and feel that can really help. So yeah, set up future self reminders in your phone, or like I said, sticky notes around the house or whatever. Remind you of who you want to become. And that can really help. Then the final tip would be to identify or identity-based habit formation. So when I say that, I mean, who is it that you want to become? So this ties into the first one about becoming your future self, or sorry, I'm like all over the place here. what is it here? Visualize your future self in detail. And that ties into this one here, where it's practicing identity-based habits. What does that person, the future self that you visualize, what does that person do every day? In order to become that person, you have to do what that person does every day. So if you want to be fluent in Spanish, what does someone who's fluent in Spanish do? They practice Spanish every day. Regardless of how good you are at it right now, they practice it every day, so you practice it every day. And eventually, you become that person. If you want to be a person who goes to bed on time early every night, what does that person do? They go to bed on time early every night. So in order to become that person, you have to do what that person's doing, which is going to bed early on time every night. So that's all you have to do. In order to become the person that you want to be, you have to do the things that that person is doing. If you want to become an athlete or excel in a specific sport, what does that person do every day who is good at that sport or who is an athlete? They train every day for whatever. So what do you have to do? You have to train every day. Again, regardless of how good you are at it, do it anyway, because the more often you do it, the easier it gets, the better you get, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get good at a hobby, if you want to get good at painting or photography or whatever it is, what do those people do? What does that future person do every day? They practice photography, they paint. So what do you have to do? Take pictures and paint. Same goes for diet. If you want to be a vegan, what does a vegan do every day? They choose vegan options. So what do you have to do today? Choose vegan options. That's all you got to do to become the person you want to be. Just do the things that they're going to be doing. If you want to be a raw vegan, what do raw vegans do? They eat raw food. So what do you do today? You eat raw food, and then eventually you become that person. So start to identify or start to do identity-based habits. What do those people do? And what can you do today to become that person? So thank you for joining me for this one. If you have any questions, please post in the chat. We can hang around and chat about whatever you want to chat about. We have the Vegan Health Bundle going on right now. If you want to grab it, please do so. You only have 5 days left. Link is in my bio or in the description box below. Go get that now because it's only $49 and you get to download 83 different vegan contributions, including 8 things from Nate and I, valued at nearly $5,600. So if you were to buy everything separately, it would cost you $5,597. But you only pay $49 and you get to download everything. Like, that's why it's so cool, because you get so many vegan resources. And like I said, 30%, roughly 30% of the bundle is raw focused. So that's really helpful for those who are looking for raw food. And, you know, if you're a raw foodie, you might learn something from the whole food plant-based videos. Like Chef AJ contributed her, it's like a, what's it called? Conference, a video conference. She submitted 5 videos from the Live Your Best Life conference from 2024. Only the people who attended that conference got those videos, but you get access to them. Alan Goldhammer and Doug Lyle are in there. So just informational things that you can get. We do have, for this bundle, a really special group collaboration ebook that we created together as creators. You can only buy this in the bundle. Otherwise, you can't get it anywhere else. It's called the 3-ingredient challenge, where we were all given the same 3 ingredients and we had to make something using those 3 ingredients and other stuff. But those 3 ingredients had to be featured in the recipes. So for the savory, we have kale, bell pepper, and sweet potato. And for the that was for savory. For the sweet, we have sweet potato, any fruit, and oats. So we can use sprouted oats as raw foodies. You can do raw sweet potato. So I made a sushi recipe, a purple sweet potato sushi with a bell pepper ginger drizzle. And then I made sweet potato oat balls with a strawberry drizzle for the dessert. There are some raw recipes in there as well. But we wanted to make this book to show you that you can take 3 common ingredients and make all different kinds of things. Like there's stews in there. Again, there's some cooked food you can make for your family or your friends or what have you. But it really helps to inspire you to get creative with basic ingredients that you have. And that's part of the bundle too. You get to download that when you buy the bundle. Wayne says, is there the planner that you use, maybe you keep that letter to yourself in the future, inserted into a future date, so you get to the date. Do you remember to read it? You know what I would do? This is just what I got from your comment here. How do you remember to read it? What I would do is go in your calendar on your phone, and I would pick a date maybe 6 months in advance and enter something in that will give you an alarm, and it'll say read your letter, right? Or something like that, so that when that date comes, you'll get a text message that says read your letter. So that's what I would do. I would set an alert in my phone 6 months in the future to read that letter, the future letter to yourself. That would be really fun to do. But yeah, there's so many things in the bundle. I hope you check it out. Again, post comments or questions in the chat if you want. We've got Broccoli Mom has her maximum weight loss recipe book in the bundle. My Align and Awaken Affirmation Meditation Challenge. Chef AJ's conference videos. Nate's brand new smoothie ebook is part of the bundle. Again, only $49 gets you all this stuff. Chris Kendall has his stew book. Dr. McDougall, his family contributed some of his legacy videos. So there's that. Chef AJ has a cool video showing you how to make stuff from Walmart ingredients. So that's really cool. Make eight recipes with ingredients from Walmart. She shows you how to do that. Make It Raw Volume 3 is part of the bundle. That one I wrote with Chef AJ. You get to download that. Heather Dahman has a vegan Mexican. Dr. Patrice Hai has her lifestyle roadmap. There's a yin yoga class in here. Korean barbecue, which is all raw from Raw Chef Yin. You get access to Chef James Sant. He's got some desserts for every season. You get access to his membership area for a year from that. Plantiful Kiki has her raw-ish recipes in here as well, which is cool. Tales from the Tailgate from us. Oh my gosh, there's just so many things. We got lots of oil-free, obviously all oil-free in here. Plant-based pizza. Dr. Rick and Karen Dina have something in here. There's vegan cheese and crackers that you can take to parties. Vegan burgers. Again, Chris Kendall has his 21-day raw meal plan. You can learn how to use herbal teas and healing teas like poultices as well from Chef Val. Macro Val is in here. There's an ice cream. Chef Ramsey's Bravo from True North. He's got, this is so cool, as part of the bundle. You get to download this. It's worth $80. So even if you just bought the bundle for this, it would be worth it. He shares over 170 videos that will take your plant-based cooking skills and lifestyle to the next level. So he teaches all kinds of stuff in there. And that's just one thing that you get in the bundle. Please go grab the bundle. Again, link is in my bio or in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube. So many amazing things. Kate Duma from Raw Vegan Mama, she's got 2 things in this bundle. She's got her Rawlicious Kids breads, spreads, and smiles. So again, for that person looking for the breads, Kate Duma has that. She also has the lunchbox for kids ebook in there too. Daria is new to the bundle. She's a raw foodie. She's got your emotional belly cure ebook in there. The burger book from us is in there too. Chef Julia from Julia Dunaway, she's got her 21-day challenge meal plan. She also has her vegan cookies ebook. There's another cheese ebook in here. Dr. Furman has his 10 and 20 detox as well. Abby has plant-based batch cooking. Tim Kaufman has lots of stuff. He's got a burger class. He's got plant-based comfort foods. And he also has something from his vault, which is like a bunch of interviews with other people too. So, I mean, like, the stuff in here is amazing. You get to download everything in here. Yoda Beast, hey Chris, he says the bundle is amazing. You guys just got it last night. Yes, so glad that you got it. Go through the content, enjoy the videos, make some healthy plant-based foods from it. I'm so glad you got it. It's going to be so great to go through everything and enjoy it all. Plant Docs has their Let's Get Cooking classes in there. Karen Ramsey, she's got her raw food for anti-aging. We've got Dr. Jim Loomis and Karen Dugan. They have their Lifestyle Medicine Simplified. Mindfulness and Food from Susmitha Veganosaurus. Jerry Casados has like a little cooking bundle with his wife, Kelly Williamson. They are in the bundle too. Ella Maggers, she's Sexy Fit Vegan. She's got her, there's like a fitness thing and a cravings emergency kit in there too. Sweet and Savory Summer from Elspeth. We've got some scriptural stuff in here for, the spiritual people. Thirst No More from Gigi and Cersei. They have theirs too. Plant Powered Traveling from Janet at Plant Powered Peddler. She and I had a conversation about going raw and cycling and traveling and stuff, and she does it just fine too. So it's possible for you as well. That's in there. 6 weeks of strength training, 100 affirmations for healthy living, meal plan volume 3 from us. You get masterclass, 5 video series from 4 plant-based coaches. So you get 5 videos with 4 plant-based coaches talking about all kinds of stuff. That's super valuable as well. Nicole has her recipes for recovery. So people who are coming out of surgery or who need a little extra tender love and care, these are recipes for them that you can make. Jennifer Diamond has her Give Plants a Chance ebook in there. Plantiful Fare, Donna Spencer, she has her Italian volume 2 in there. Feel Fabulous Over 40 has Health Boosters. It's like a video class as well. 7-Day Reset from Heather. High Raw Revival from Stacy. Rachel Brown, we've got Dr. Rhea Pudi, who I was live with today on her channel. I really enjoyed that interview with her. She's got 5 ways to lower blood pressure. For those of you with high blood pressure, check out Dr. Rhea Pudi's contribution in here. She talks about 5 different ways to lower your blood pressure and doing it without medication. So check that out. There's 3 days raw foods and juice course from Rosie. Rosie's Raw Living is there. PBNSG, you get 3 months free access to their membership. It's plant-based nutrition support group. I'm going to be going live in their support group. I don't know when. We haven't set a date yet, but I'm going to be talking about raw food in there too at some point. Lori Landry has recipes for better intimacy. Dr. Carrie Henneman has Family Meals First. And there's a recipe book with simple family meals that you can make. Kim Murphy has Quick and Easy Plant-Based Power Pack recipe book. Connie DeCramer has The Magic of You, which is kind of an 8-video series talking about, the magic of you as well. Yeah, there's more. I could go on. More stuff from Chef Val and the Tropical Survival Garden from Mira Fruta. She teaches, how to grow your own tropical garden. We've got a 7-day PCOS Jumpstart program from my friend Fawn. She dealt with PCOS, and I had a lot of PCOS symptoms when before I went raw as well, like horrible PCOS symptoms. And she talks about the supplements she likes to take and some other things and stuff. She has a 7-day kind of like a plan, like when to take certain supplements and all that kind of stuff in there too. So that's everything. You get everything that I just mentioned. There's 83 things to download, and you only pay $49 to get access to everything. But I'd like to say that you only get a year to download everything. So once you buy the bundle, you're going to get an email from Send Owl Downloads. Once you get that email, it'll have a link for you to access everything you get to download. Click on that link, go to the page. We do not have a download all button because there's too many things and it overloads the download bandwidth. So you usually don't get everything when you use the download all button. So we disabled it because we would have a lot of problems with people saying, I didn't get this file. So we just disabled it. It's easier to just do it one at a time. It takes about 10 minutes to download everything onto your computer or your phone. If you want to download it onto your phone, into your Books app on Apple devices, or your download files on Android devices, or wherever you're going to download it to, you have 1 year to download it. Once you download the file, you no longer need the email to access. Then access everything from your device. So I recommend downloading it onto a computer so you have all the files in a folder for the 2025 Vegan Health Bundle. And Then you take that folder and you put it in Dropbox, or you put it in Google Drive, or you put it on a USB stick, or you put it on an external drive. That way, if anything happens to your computer, you can access the files still after the year is done. You've got them all in a safe backup. And this is a reminder to everybody to take a few minutes and back up your important files, like your tax documents, any photos that you don't ever want to lose. Put them on your USB sticks, your external drives, your Google Drive, your cloud storage, or whatever it is. If you have things that you don't want to lose, because we know what happens, suddenly the technology doesn't work and we can't access those things anymore. So it's important to have a backup. So when you download those files, put them in a safe backup so you have the backup just in case. Then what I like to suggest is take that folder, open the folder, and make a few folders inside. You could make a folder for all the raw stuff. You could make a folder for the things that you really want to read right away. You could make a folder for things that you'll get to eventually, and split them up. You could even have a folder of things that you've already read. Maybe you want to check back on those ones later. Maybe you put a folder of things that you absolutely love, your most favorite things from the bundle in that folder. So you have kind of like a good organization of all the things that are in the bundle. That way it's a little easier. We have a question here. Hi, Lissa. Love this new bundle. Thank you. Thank you for getting it. Question, any suggestions food-wise when traveling abroad? We are about to fly to Italy for 10 days. Not sure how to eat there. That's a great question. So Nate and I are actually going to Mexico at the end of the month. So we are staying at an all-inclusive resort, but it's not a vegan or a raw resort. It's just an all-inclusive spa resort. So we need to take some of our own food so that we can get by there. Obviously, they're going to have raw food at the buffets. Like, there's going to be a salad bar and that kind of thing. But it's not going to be as easy to do raw because it's not raw focused. So what we're going to do is we are going to take wraps. That's going to be our go-to thing to take when we go traveling. And it is our go-to thing to take when we go traveling. When we go hiking, when we go backpacking, when we go camping, when we go on road trips, when we fly on airplanes, wraps are the number one top thing that we always bring with us now. You can get recipes for the wraps that we take traveling in the Tales from the Tailgate ebook. I highly recommend, since you got the bundle, download the Tales from the Tailgate ebook and read through it, because that is our Traveling as Raw Foodies ebook. It goes over hotel rooms, it goes over grocery shopping, it goes over air travel and resort stays, and like I said, camping and hiking and backpacking and all of that stuff. We go through everything that we do when we go traveling. If we were going to Italy, we're in the United States, so if we were traveling to Italy, we would make enough wraps to take in our checked baggage so that we would have enough wraps to wrap stuff up in when we got to Italy. The second thing we would do is when we landed and when we got to our Airbnb or hotel or wherever we were staying, we would immediately go to the grocery store. The grocery store is always the very first place we go, no matter where we go, because we need to stock up on food to fuel us so we enjoy our travels. So we'll go to the nearest grocery store, we'll buy any fruits and greens and things that we need. Fruits for breakfast is so simple, so easy. Melons, bananas, any fruit that is in season in Italy will be amazing to eat. So buy a bunch of fruit to sustain you for breakfasts and maybe even lunches if you want. Bring the wraps. You could have them in your suitcase, and get some lettuce. You can use avocado as the base for your wrap, and then just have lettuce. You can have shredded cabbage. Get any of the vegetables that are available to you there when you get there, so you can fill your wraps. You can wrap those. Make sure that you bring deli paper with you. Super important not to forget that, because then when you make the wraps, cut them in half, you've got 2 meals. You can wrap them up in the deli paper, and you can take them while you're sightseeing. You can take them in your backpack. Maybe you have ice in your Camelback or whatever to keep your food cold. Pack apples, pack fruit. You could take dried fruit if you want to. That's kind of like a emergency fuel source for us if we really need it. You can make fruit roll-ups as well. Just blend berries or other fruit with a little lemon juice, some vanilla, maybe some spices to spice it up if you want. Pour those on the wrap trays and let them dry overnight. for 12 to 18 hours, and then you peel them off. You can roll them in parchment paper, and you've got yourself some fruit roll-ups that you can take on the airplane. And if you want to take sauce on the airplane, you can. Yes, you can take food on the airplane as long as it's packed up really well. Sometimes you can't take things internationally. I've been able to take stuff internationally just fine. Some people have issues. It really depends on the TSA people. But for sauces, you can buy those travel size shampoo bottles, like the empty set that you get that are all like 30 mils, or is it 100 mils or 30 mils or whatever it is, the TSA size. You just buy the shampoo bottles and put your sauce in the new shampoo bottles. They're clean. You can put the sauce in there, and you can take those on the plane, because as long as it's under the amount that they allow, you can take it with you. We take sauces on the plane. We have our wraps on the plane. It's so delicious. We're eating so good when we go on the airplanes, because we take our wraps with us and they don't say anything. So that's an option as well. But yeah, when you get there, go to the grocery store, stock up. I always make sure, or we always make sure, I should say, that we have an Airbnb or a hotel room that has a fridge if we are going somewhere without our truck. Our truck, we have a 75-liter Iceco cooler in the truck that we put all our food in. So we don't have to worry about that, because we have solar panels on our roof with a generator that runs the cooler. We don't have to worry about the cooler. It could basically run 24/7 and keep our food cold no matter where we go, even in the middle of the desert, because we have the solar charging the power unit that charges the cooler. But if we go somewhere, like we're going to Mexico, we're not taking our truck with us. So we're flying to San Diego and then we're driving down into Mexico. So we have to take food with us, because we don't know what's going to be raw there. Obviously, we can do raw at a resort, no problem. In the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, we do go through what we eat at a resort, because we did go to an all-inclusive resort in 2018 for a friend's wedding, and we ate raw there the entire time. So we go over what we did, what we look for. Guacamole and salsa are like the best possible raw vegan salad dressing options, because it's raw, and you can usually get guacamole and salsa pretty much anywhere, or even just guacamole, or even just avocado straight. Most places have avocado. You can just mash it with a little bit of lemon juice from the bar. They usually have lemon or citrus that they put in their drinks. You can ask for that. Maybe mix it with a little hot pepper or chili or chopped tomatoes or whatever. You can make it work. Again, we go through all the details in the Tales from the Tailgate ebook. There's also over 100 recipes in that book alone, showing you the recipes of all kinds of things that we've made over our travels over the last 5 years. So we've got salads, we've got dehydrated foods like the wraps and the tostadas and the burgers. There's some in there. There's also freeze dryer recipes for those of you who are extra. You can get a freeze dryer. You don't even need a freeze dryer to make the recipes, because you can buy all the freeze dried ingredients separately. I have links to buy all of the freeze dried stuff separately if you don't have a freeze dryer. And you can make things like the creamy tomato coconut curry thing. And it's so lightweight because it's freeze dried. And all you do is add water to it and let it soak for a few hours. And you've got yourself like a curry, like a creamy curry, tomato-based thing. There's a mushroom one in there. Some ingredients you might not be able to find if you don't have a freeze dryer, like the freeze-dried black rice. We do that ourselves in our freeze dryer. But you could use other things. You could use freeze-dried corn. And freeze-drying is a raw technique because it's frozen and then it's dried, and it retains up to 97% of the nutrition. Freeze drying is the ultimate form of food preservation because it's still raw, and it's the highest in nutrition of any form of food preservation out there. So like it goes beyond dehydration, it goes beyond canning, it goes beyond any other form of food preservation. Freeze drying is the ultimate. So that is a great option as well. And we have our freeze dryer recipes in there that we make for cold soaks for when we are backpacking. That's in taking everything on our back and going up into the mountains and sleeping for 2 nights. We need to take food with us. So as long as you have enough water, you can make these cold soaks. Also, sprouted oats are a really great option. I just found out my new friend Janet, who's also in the bundle, she's the plant-powered peddler. She called 1 Degree and talked to them there, and they roll their oats at 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So they're considered raw. These sprouted rolled oats are considered raw food. So that's an option for you as well. You can make like a cold soak oatmeal with freeze-dried fruit in it. So delicious. You could add even like freeze-dried coconut milk powder in there if you wanted to make it creamy. I mean, like awesome options that you can take. And another thing, if you are going overseas, you can make these cold soak things. They weigh almost nothing if you're using freeze-dried food, and you can just pack little baggies and take them with you. Chef AJ actually made some sprouted oat granola special for me because we're going to Mexico with her, and she made like 3 pounds of it for me. It's like so sweet. I'm gonna make her tons of wraps because I want her to have wraps while we're there. So yeah, it's so easy to travel when you plan. When you plan for it, when you have a goal, when you get to your location to buy the food, make a plan of what you plan to eat every single day, because it's better to have a plan and then sway from the plan than to not have a plan at all. I would much rather, have like, we're going to have burgers on the first night, we're going to have tacos on the second night, and we're going to have a salad on the third night. And maybe on the second night, we find a raw food restaurant and we're like, ooh, let's go there. I would rather have the tacos ready to go just in case and go to the restaurant instead and have that food for later. Maybe we eat it on the way home or whatever, than to not even have a plan and to not know what's going on and not know what to have or to wing it. And, you end up making choices that don't necessarily line with your choices. So long-winded answer to that question. I hope you have a blast in La Bella Italia. I can't wait to go to Italy again. I've been there twice in my life. I went once in 2005 for a month, and I went again in 2007 for a month. My ex is fully Italian, and we would go for a whole month. We would stay in these little tiny towns that didn't even speak English, and it was really cool. But at the time, I wasn't solid in my raw food thing, so I had to wean into it, and I did not feel good after coming back from those trips. Even though it was all homemade food, I didn't feel good, so I'd much rather eat raw. And now this time, if we do go to Italy, of course it would be raw, and it would be amazing because we would have all the delicious raw tomatoes and bell peppers. The bell peppers there were this big. It was so awesome. Diamond Girl says, yes, the wraps are amazing. I also made it work when we went to Italy. Awesome. So yeah, you can make it work. Definitely. That's awesome. I definitely need to get the 4-tray Excalibur. It's just me, so I think 4 trays are enough for me. I would really like to address this because I encourage people not to get the 4-tray, even if it's just you. The reason being is the 4-tray is smaller, so you are going to make smaller wraps. And everything takes a lot longer to dehydrate because it's a smaller space. There's less airflow. And when you are making the wraps, you have to get the smaller trays. They're not square. They're rectangles, so they're a little harder to roll. But one wrap recipe, instead of making 2 full wraps, it makes 3 smaller wraps. But because you're putting 3 trays out of 4 in your dehydrator, they're going to take 20 to 24 hours to dry instead of 12 to 14. In the bigger one. When I was raw and I was looking into getting an Excalibur, I had the same dilemma. I was like, well, it's just me. I'm going to get the 4-tray. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend a little extra. I'm going to get the 9-tray because you never know. I might want the extra space. And it's nice to have the 4-tray because I can dry meatballs for spaghetti, but I can also put a ceramic bowl in it because there's space. So I can warm up the bowl. So when I have my spaghetti and meatballs, the bowl is nice and warm. I've got the meatballs in there. I've got other marinated veggies. I definitely highly encourage you to get the 9-tray if you are going to get one. It's only a little bit extra space. It's maybe about this big, and it's a little extra around the edges, but it's not that much bigger necessarily, but you're getting way more dry space. You're able to make the bigger wraps, and everything dries a lot faster in there. So just my thoughts. You're obviously going to do whatever you want to do, but I would definitely recommend the 9-tray over the 4-tray. I don't even know if we would need a 4 tray. Like, even if it was just me, I would definitely always get the big tray. Like, Nate and I have talked about maybe getting a 4 tray, but we don't need it. We've got the space in the big one, and we would probably only use it to dry herbs because it's so small, the airflow isn't as good. But those are just my thoughts. Again, you're going to decide whatever. Any dehydrator is going to work and is going to be good. It's just some things you have to keep in mind, like it is going to take longer to dry. You won't have as much space to do other things in there, especially kale chips, because kale chips, like, they take a lot of space. So in a 9 tray, we can do 3 trays of kale chips. In a 4 tray, you might be able to get 2 if you squish them down. But yeah, it's so much better just to have a big one. But we've got, you guys are amazing in the chat. Thank you so much. Travel One Now says, I love those. They're so hearty. Probably referring to the wraps. Yes, yes. Oh, wow. Thank you. Didn't realize that. Glad I made it here. I'm glad you are here as well. Thank you for asking the questions. And if you guys have any other questions, I'm more than happy to stick around and answer any questions you have on raw food or on the bundle, which is going on right now. You only have 5 days left to get the bundle. Link is in my bio or in the description box below. You do get access to download our Tales from the Tailgate ebook, which we've been talking about, that has all the information on how we pack, plan, prepare, and travel as raw foodies. Nate even has his 1.5 hour long video on how he built our solar power generator for our truck. And this thing is amazing. We charge our laptops, our phones, it runs our lights, it runs our cooler, and it stays charged with the solar panels on top of our rooftop tent and when we're driving. So if we drive to another location, it charges it as well. So we've got our cooler that lives in the back of our truck, and that keeps our food cold. The cooler is actually really cool because there's 2 compartments. One of them can be a freezer, so we could even take frozen fruit with us. The solar power generator has a 2,000 watt inverter in it, which runs our Vitamix. So we can actually take our Vitamix with us camping, and we can make dressings in the middle of the desert completely off grid, because we have all our own power. But you get to watch that video that Nate made is inside that ebook. He also shares all the tools that he made with all the links to all the stuff. So if you wanted to do something similar, you could use what he learned to create something for yourself, if you were so inclined to do so. Obviously, not everyone will be able to do anything like that, but it is there for anyone who, kind of has that desire to make something solar powered for their vehicle. Diamond Girl says, you spoke about using vinegar to soak your garbanzo beans when they are bulk bins. Is that soak them only in distilled white vinegar for 15 minutes and not mixed with water? Correct. Straight up vinegar. Just cover them with the distilled white vinegar. The reason why I don't consume distilled white vinegar is because distilled white vinegar kills bacteria, both healthy and bad. And that's why we use vinegar when we clean, right? We put it in our spray bottles with some lemon essence, and we use that to clean our counters. We put it in our laundry sometimes, it's a cleaning agent because it is a distilled product. Apple cider vinegar, on the other hand, is completely different. You don't want to soak them in apple cider vinegar because that is bacterially and enzymatically active. So apple cider vinegar is totally different from distilled white vinegar. The distilled white vinegar is going to be antibacterial. So if you soak your bulk bin chickpeas for 15 minutes in straight up distilled vinegar, it's going to help to kill any pathogens that are in there, because the bulk bin chickpeas and lentils and stuff like that are meant to be cooked. So obviously cooking is going to kill the bacteria, and sprouting seeds are what you want to look for future sprouting needs. I don't usually recommend using bulk bin stuff because it's meant for cooking, and sometimes they don't sprout as well as the actual sprouting seeds. And what they do is the sprouting companies pick the cream of the crop. They pick the best chickpeas, they pick the best lentils that they know are going to have a high germination rate. So when you do sprout them, more of them sprout than the bulk bin ones. Because the bulk bin ones, again, they know you're going to cook them, so they're not really meant for sprouting. You can sprout them for sure, but you want to take some safety precautions because they don't test for pathogenic bacteria like they do for sprouting seeds. So if you go to a company like thesproutingcompany.com, if you want a link to the Sprouting Company, send me a DM. I would be happy to share the link with you in direct message. So send me a DM if you want a link for the Sprouting Company. I'll be happy to share that with you. But there's other companies like Food to Live, which you can get on Amazon. There's Mum's Sprouting Seeds. There's True Leaf Market has a ton of different sprouting seeds. So when it says sproutable or sprouting seed on it, those seeds have been tested for pathogens. So they're safe for you to sprout. They're safe to soak. They're safe to sprout. They're not going to harbor bacteria unless there's cross-contamination in your kitchen. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're not cross-contaminating it with any animal products, because it's animal products that harbor the E. coli and the salmonella and all that stuff that infects the vegetables. So make sure that you use sproutable seeds. And if you don't, if you're using bulk bin stuff, soak them for 15 minutes in pure distilled white vinegar, and that can help to kill some of the other pathogenic bacteria in there, just for safety. So thanks for asking that question. It's a really good topic. And you can rinse your sprouts after. I personally don't usually rinse the ones we make at home. If we buy sprouts, sometimes we rinse those, because you never know what type of water, or if somebody in the store was touching animal products and then they were playing around with some of the sprouts, some of the bacteria can get in there and harbor E. coli or what have you. So it is a wise idea to rinse things with a little vinegar when you bring them home from the store. But if you're growing them yourself and there's no cross-contamination, if you're in a vegan home, you don't have any animal products around, the likelihood of you getting sick from sprouts is so low, almost nothing. So you don't have to worry about it. If you're using sproutable seeds and there's no cross-contamination, you're good to go. You can just eat them right out of the jar. I've never had a problem with sprouts, and we've been eating them almost daily for over a decade. So glad you guys are enjoying this information. If you have any questions, please post in the chat. I'm happy to stay on and talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I have all day really to chat with you. The bundle is going on right now. If you want to support us, if you want to support Chef AJ, grab the bundle, because there's a small portion of every sale goes to her. So click the link in my bio or in the description box below and get yourself a copy of the bundle. You get to download nearly $5,600 worth of vegan content for $49, including 8 things from Nate and I, the brand new Align and Awaken Affirmation Meditation Challenge. You've got the brand new smoothie ebook from Nate, Meal Plan 3, Make It Raw 3, Holiday Menu 3, the Burger Book, the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, and you get access to our full day meal prep class where we make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 people on a raw diet in an hour. So you get to watch us do that on that video, so you can implement some of those tips and tricks and techniques for your food prep as well. All of that, included with all the other stuff, is all yours for $49. So please go grab it now and get all of that. Yoda B says, is Nature Jim's Sprouts a good brand? Yes, definitely. That's a great brand. You can get those too. There's so many different sprouting brands out there. And yes, Nature Jim's is a good one too. As long as it says sproutable on it, or sprouting seeds or whatever, that's going to be safe and really good for you too. So grab that and make some lentil sprouts and chickpea sprouts and all kinds of delicious sprouts. Angelic Ciara says, I just have problems being disciplined on eating raw. I would love to know what you are having challenges with, because, the discipline can be different for everybody. Is it the discipline in sticking to it every day? Is it the discipline in eating enough? Is it the discipline when it comes to social issues? What do you feel is more specific with the discipline? What are you having more challenges with? Because I'd love to chat with you about that, because I'm all about the habit building and the mindful self-discipline here. I love the concept of mindful self-discipline, because we usually feel like discipline is this super challenging, hard, restrictive thing that we have to do. Like we have to you have to be disciplined, you have to do the thing, and it feels more like a chore, like it's hard and it's challenging, and if we don't do it, we feel guilty and all this stuff. Mindful self-discipline, on the other hand, is recognizing that discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do something. It's about doing something that you genuinely want to be doing. So when you have an issue with discipline, think about what you truly want for your life. If you really, truly want to be raw, then look at it from a different angle. Don't look at it like you have to be raw, or it's challenging to be raw, or you're dealing with all these choices and everything. Think of it as, I want to be raw. I want to be raw today. I choose to be raw today. I'm excited to be raw today. Change the wording that you use when it comes to raw, and that can help shift you more into that motivation to choose raw every day. But it would be really interesting to hear more about what problems you have with the discipline, so I can give a little bit more tweaked advice. Fruit Friend Scotland says, opinions on imported produce. That's a great question. I think imported produce has its place for sure, and we eat imported from Mexico produce, and it's imported from different states as well. So I don't think it's the worst thing, obviously. I would rather see people eat imported produce than eat processed food, which who knows what kind of import that is, right? Of course we want to eat as local as possible. Of course we want to support local farmers. Of course we want to have a lower footprint on our food. But we live in an imperfect world. So not to get restrictive or guilty or regretful or shamed or anything if you do happen to eat imported produce. It's totally okay. Don't worry about it. Get the calories in. I'd rather people get the calories in and enjoy the lifestyle than to be worried or restrictive or challenged because they want to avoid these things and they just can't get everything. Because if you are in Scotland, that's challenging. It's really hard to do fresh produce year long when you're in the northern climates. I started my raw vegan diet in Canada, in Edmonton, Alberta, and my first 5 years raw were in Canada. So my first 5 winters were in Canada. It's like minus 40. It's cold and it snows most of the year. So I did eat a lot more imported produce than I do now. Obviously, our produce here in Las Vegas comes mostly from California or Mexico or the states around, country around us. So it's a little less of a carbon footprint for travel. But when I was in Canada, I ate it anyways because I wanted to make sure that I supported myself. And plus like I said, a lot of the processed food and some animal products even, a lot of the feed is imported. A lot of the animal products are imported as well. Most of the processed food, who knows where that's coming from. So there's things to consider, but also not to be super stressed out about it. Comment here, I've been vegan over 13 years. Now I've noticed my body loves eating raw or juicing. My plan this spring, summer is eating mostly raw. That's awesome. Great work. And yes, here at Raw Food Romance, we aren't about forcing people or making them feel guilty if they aren't fully raw. The whole goal with my page here and with Nate's page and everything that we're doing here at Raw Food Romance is to inspire you to eat more raw. Whether that's all raw or not, it doesn't matter. It's about eating more raw and working your way up with what's available to you and what works with your life and what works with your body and what you want. So it's about eating more raw. We're trying to get people to eat more raw, to go vegan. Obviously, you're already vegan, which is great. But yeah, work slowly up to it because a lot of people will think like, oh, if you go vegan, you're automatically healthy. Or if you go raw, you're automatically healthy. But it really depends on how you do it because you can be a junk food vegan and eat a lot of junk food and you're not going to feel that great on that diet as opposed to a raw diet. But also on a raw diet, you can get very restrictive and you can run into nutritional deficiencies. You can atrophy your gut if you're not eating a wide enough variety of whole fiber, including the insoluble fiber as well. Super important to eat whole foods. to the max, as much as you possibly can. Obviously, you have a juice here and there, totally cool, but raw food in its whole form, wide variety of it can really help to give you a good broad range of nutrition. And make sure that you eat enough. Make sure that you eat enough when you're on a raw diet. You may need to eat more often throughout the day, which is totally fine. We're not here trying to like force ourselves to not be hungry for 5 hours. If you're hungry after 2 or 3 hours, eat something. It's not that big of a deal. Our bodies want that constant fuel. So if you need the constant fuel, because raw food is so much easier to digest, it goes through us a lot faster. So we do need it more often, which is totally fine and totally normal. So enjoy the spring and summer with all your raw food. That's awesome. Angelic Ciara says, thank you. And more so, I would tell myself I am eating raw today and then give in to other things when it gets late and I want to eat this way to feel better. Thank you for sharing that. So this is her issue with the discipline. Number one, I would say the reason most people have struggles in the evening is because they did not eat enough during the day. This goes across the board for the vast majority of people on a raw diet. The reason they have struggles at night is because they have not eaten enough during the day. We aim to get 1,000 calories worth of fruit before lunch even begins. 1,000 calories of fruit in the morning. So that looks like about 200 to 400 calories worth of fruit first thing in the morning and a 600 to 700 calorie smoothie later in the morning. So we have like 2 breakfasts. We're like the hobbits. We have second breakfast. We'll get up, we'll have our whole fruit first thing when we get up, and then we go for our workout or whatever. And then when we get back, we have our big giant smoothie. So we get about 1,000 calories before lunch. And then we have our big salad for lunch or a wrap or something. And then we have our raw dinner. If you are not eating enough during the day, you are certainly going to be more likely to have struggles at dinner time because your body is like, I'm running out of fuel. I need something dense. I need something that I'm used to eating. And you're going to default to those things if you don't eat enough food during the day. So make sure that you're getting enough food throughout the day. Have snacks if you need to. Have 2 breakfasts and a big lunch so that you are more likely to stick to your dinner. The second thing is to plan. You've got it right by waking up in the morning and telling yourself you're going to eat raw today, but make a plan. What are you going to have for breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Write it down. When we write down our plans, we are so much more likely to stick to them. So write it down with a pen and paper, old school style, and maybe even write down the recipes if you want. Plan it out and then schedule yourself in. Schedule in when you're going to make that food prep and when you're going to eat your meals. Schedule yourself in so you know what's happening, and then just show up. Show up regardless of how you're feeling or whatever, because cravings are typically based on habit. So you're going to typically crave in the evening foods that you normally eat in the evening. Until you start to change what you choose when you're hungry to raw food, then over time, the more often you choose it, the easier it gets to choose it. So keep going. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. Especially if you're doing like a whole food plant-based steamed dinner or whatever. I mean, that's a way better choice than processed food or junk food or animal products or whatever. So have some grace with yourself. If you want to have some cooked food with your dinner, have half your plate cooked and the other half have a big salad. Work your way into more raw and plan out your day. Make sure that you're eating enough, because again, that's the number one reason why people struggle is they're just not eating enough calories. So I hope that helps, and I hope that helps other people as well who are watching. Thank you for all the hearts and all the love. Thank you for all the support. Your support means the absolute world to us, and the best way to support us is, number one, make healthy choices every day. Choose vegan, choose raw, and choose those foods that support you. That is the number one way that you can support us. The second way is to grab the bundle, link in the bio or in the description box below. As I mentioned, a portion from every sale goes to Chef AJ. So that's a really great way to help her as well. So get the bundle. You're not only supporting us, but you're supporting yourself. You're giving yourself so many options to make these healthy foods and to change your life. It's such a beautiful thing. And this bundle has about 30% of the bundle roughly is raw focused. So we got lots of raw things. You've got 8 things from Nate and I. We contributed $426 worth of content, but you get to download it all for $49. That's it. $49 gets you all of this stuff. The Align and Awaken brand new affirmation meditation course, which is going to help you change your belief systems around food, around your body, around your habits, around your future self. Every single day has a new topic, and there's a huge write-up about each day, science and metaphysical stuff, and then each day has breath work and a visualization and 100 affirmations. So each video is around 25 to 35 minutes long. And if you do all 30 of them in a row, you will say 3,000 positive affirmations to yourself over those 30 days. And I am the voice, so you get to listen to my calming voice. Everyone says how much they love that. That's actually why I made this course, is because so many people are like, I love your affirmation videos. I have some in the Checkmate Your Cravings video course, and I also have a couple on YouTube, and I've had so many people who are like, make longer ones, make more, I want to hear more affirmations. So I decided to make an affirmation meditation course because I believe that the top thing that we can do to change our life is to change how we believe about ourselves, is to practice these daily affirmations and change our core beliefs. Because if we don't change our core beliefs, it's going to be challenging. If we believe it's hard, if we believe it's expensive, if we believe we can't do it, if we believe it's boring, it's going to be boring. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging because we believe these things about it. So when you shift your core beliefs, and that takes time, and a lot of people don't want to spend the time doing that. It takes time, it takes consistency, it takes repetition, a lot of repetition. Even after a week, some people will say, well, I'm not really noticing it, but it doesn't happen after a week. It happens after a long time, a lot of repetitions, and you'll slowly notice your beliefs changing the more you practice positive affirmations and positive belief systems around food, around your body, around habits, and all that kind of stuff. You have to take the time to do it. So doing something every day, and even if you just put the meditation on before going to bed, the meditations seep into your subconscious when you are sleeping. So you can listen to them at night. If you don't have time during the day, just put it on before you go to bed and listen to it overnight. And that can help as well. And we have this meditation challenge in our online community, on our school community. And the response has been beautiful. People are saying how much it's improved their sleep is probably the number one thing that people have noticed. It's improved their days. They're more calm throughout the day. They believe better about themselves. They love themselves more. It's so transformative, but you have to put the time in and listen to them and do the work. Do the work and you will see the change. So that's part of the bundle. And this course sells for $197. If you were to buy it separately, even with the 40% off code, you're still not going to get it for $49. So buy the bundle, because for $49, you get that course, you get Nate's new smoothie book, you get the burger book, you get all kinds of stuff. So get the bundle. Again, link in bio or in the description box below. We have a comment here, still going through last year's. Yes, I know there's always a bundle. We've got some wonderful bundles coming up this year as well. Specifically the Ultimate Raw Vegan bundle, which is coming in a few months as well. So that's coming. But that bundle is going to have totally different stuff in it. So if you like the raw stuff that's in this bundle, get this bundle too, because the raw things in here will not be in the Ultimate Raw Vegan bundle. It's going to be a totally separate bundle with totally different stuff. Actually, that bundle is going to be brand new, never before released content. So nothing has ever been released in the raw bundle, which is coming soon. So if you like the raw stuff that's in here right now, get this bundle, because you won't be able to get it in the next one. So gotta get it now. Again, 5 days remain to get the bundle. Link in bio or in the description box below. Lots of great info. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the bundle. If anyone has any questions about raw food, we're here to just chat and hang out and have some fun. We did talk about connecting to your future self, which is my favorite day in the Align and Awaken Affirmation Meditation Challenge. Day 17 is connecting with your future self, and I love that one. The day after is about overcoming procrastination. So if you have issues with procrastination, that's there. Procrastination is probably one of my favorite topics. I want to write a book on that topic. That's kind of the new thing that I want to work on. It's probably going to take a couple years to write that book. I have to do a lot of research and stuff, but I'm going to write a book on procrastination. You're the first to hear about it. But yeah, that's coming in the next couple years. We've got some other things that are coming this year, like the sushi book. The sushi is coming soon. But right now we are doing the vegan health bundle, which is going on for the next 5 days. It ends on March 10th at 11:59 p.m. PST. A link is in my bio or in the description box below. Can we get a sneak look of the book? Oh, the sushi book. Let's see here. I won't share any recipes, but I can share. Oh, we're writing another book with Chef AJ as well, so that's gonna come. Let me see. My camera's in the way. Let me pull up the cover. Yeah, the sushi book is gonna be really, really fun. I'm very excited for it. Where is it? Here. Oh my gosh, where is it? I've been working on so many things, I don't even know where it is. Sushi. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me just flip the camera so you can see. Okay, so I have a bunch of cover options. Obviously, we're not doing cooked rice. This was just a template when I originally thought of the sushi book. I wanted to get a picture like that. Obviously, that's not the one we're going to use, but I've got so many cover ideas. I don't know which one I'm going to do. So these are all cover options. This one I really like. I did a poll in my stories. And here's some pink sushi. There's some pink sushi in there. Lots of colorful sushi, and I teach how to wet chop, how to make them solid so they don't fall apart. There's sauces. There's toppings. Check out this one here. This is like a yellow themed sushi. There's all the colorful sushis. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I teach how to put the avocado on the top, how to put the mango on the top, and the papaya. We've got some purple sushi. Any color that I could think of, I tried to get in here. But there's so many different ones. Again, these are different colors of covers that I've thought about. This is kind of the direction as you can see, I've made lots with that cover. But there's also this one here. And all of these recipes will be in the sushi book. Look at this one here. I had so much fun making all these. This one's a cool one. Also have the California rolls, and this is a blooming black rice. I call it the After Dark California because it's got the dark rice in it. There's this one here too. I can't remember which one that one's. The carrot zucchini sushi as well. Here's the papaya sushi. There's so many. Here's the pink sushi. I'm just playing around with cover ideas, but this is kind of like a little sneak peek. This is a rainbow roll where there's bell pepper, avocado, and they're all marinated. That one, there's sauces again. Here's that one. Yeah, just playing around again with different covers. I don't know which ones I'm going to use, but that's kind of a sneak peek at the sushi book. So that's coming in. We wonder. Let me know if I'm back. Am I back? Is it working? Silly technology. Sometimes I wonder. But you know, it's so great that we have the technology so we can connect like this. Let me know if I'm back, if I'm talking, if you're listening, if you can hear. Okay, perfect. Good. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Again, if you have any questions, let's chat. We can continue on if you want. Ask me anything about raw food, about planning, about prep, about habits. I'm here to answer. Nate is going live every day at 9 a.m. during the bundle. And he's making a brand new smoothie every day. Today's smoothie has carrot in it, and it's really good. You get Nate's brand new smoothie ebook when you buy the bundle. Again, link in my bio or in the description box below. So get the bundle so you can download his brand new smoothie ebook. It's almost 350 pages long. There's lots of information in there along with 45 recipes, and that's just one of 83 things that you get to download when you pay the $49. Diamond Girl, Jennifer's still in the house. Awesome, awesome. Diamond Girl is also in the bundle. Her ebook is called Give Plants a Chance. So if you want to get her book too, get the bundle. You know where to go. She's asking, do you clean mushrooms before adding raw sauce or adding in the dehydrator? This is a good question. I don't like to wash mushrooms in water because they get slimy and weird. So what I like to do when I am cleaning mushrooms is I get like a cloth. Like we use the microfiber Norwex cloths. They're a really high quality microfiber. And we get that a little bit damp. So not soaking wet, just a little damp. And we brush the mushrooms with that. You could use a little vinegar as well for any bacterial killing if you want, and just brush the mushroom, because then you're not adding a bunch of water which makes them slimy and gross. I don't really like that. But just using a wet or damp rag to wash them. You can also peel mushrooms if you want, using the bottom of the mushroom. I wish I had a mushroom to show you, but where the stem is, there's all the gills. You can actually take some of the gill and peel it. And you can just peel it kind of like an orange, just all the way around. If you don't want to have the outside of the mushroom in your food, you can do that as well. It takes a little extra time, but we just brush them with a damp cloth, and that seems to be enough. And again, you could soak that damp cloth in a little vinegar. Distilled white vinegar, not apple cider vinegar, because apple cider vinegar is enzymatically and bacterially active. So use the distilled white vinegar to do that, and then you can chop them up and marinate them. Nate and I have been on a big lion's mane mushroom kick right now. We love the lion's mane. We've never had it before, and we've always wanted to try it. And our friend Daniel, who is Enzyme333 on Instagram, he uses lion's mane in some of his recipes. And I have never made any of those specific ones, but I wanted to try the lion's mane. And we saw that our box that we get, so every week Nate and I get a box on Thursdays from Farm Fresh to You. It's a company that you can order vegetables from, and everything's organic. So we get like organic kale, radishes, and we get a lot of like unique stuff that we usually can't get at the grocery store. So it's like a farmer's market box, really. And you can add whatever you want to it. You go through the website and you pick whatever's available, and a lot of it is seasonal stuff. So we see in there every week they have lion's mane mushrooms. They have lots of different other kinds of mushrooms too. So I ordered some lion's mane mushrooms and I started marinating them, and I'm in love. They're my favorite mushroom of all time. I love them so much. When you cut them into strips, they look like chicken strips. You can marinate them. They take on any flavor that you marinate them with. And they're a neutral mushroom flavor. They don't have a strong mushroom flavor. They've got a really nice texture. They're very umami, and they are excellent for brain health. Now, when you marinate them and dehydrate them, you make them more digestible and they're easier for you, and they're just so good. We've been putting them inside our sushi. So the sushi book is going to have a lot of lion's mane mushroom recipes in it, but we did a live on Chef AJ where we marinated some lion's mane mushroom and put it in our wraps, which is amazing. We had 2 different kinds of marinade, and I'm going to tell you these because if you buy the bundle, link in my bio or in the description box below, you will be able to do this because 2 recipes are in the bundle. So number 1, you want to get your lion's mane. You can use any mushrooms for this, like the little button mushrooms. You can use portobello mushrooms. You can use oyster mushrooms if you want. I prefer the button, but obviously I prefer the lion's mane now, but you can use other mushrooms if you can't get lion's mane. But if you use the lion's mane, get the meal plan volume 3. So again, that's in the bundle. Meal plan volume 3, there's a recipe in there for barbecue craze. It's a dehydrated vegetable dish on cucumber noodles, and we use mushrooms and broccoli and bell peppers and all kinds of things in there, but the sauce is what you want. So find the sauce recipe and make it, or meal plan 3 has the sauce recipe for barbecue craze. Cut your lion's mane into strips, like 1/4 inch strip pieces, and marinate it in that sauce overnight. Then the next day, spread them on a solid dehydrator sheet and dehydrate them for about 5 or 6 hours. And then you can put them in your salad, you can put them in your wraps, you can put them in your sushi, you can put them on tacos or whatever. It's a barbecue like chicken strip, basically. It's amazing. So seriously amazing. Again, the recipe for the barbecue craze is in Meal Plan 3 that you get when you buy the bundle. Then the other type of mushroom that we made that is even better is you use that same marinade for the barbecue craze, and then you open the burger book, which you also get when you buy the bundle. So $49 gets you all of this stuff. Get the burger book, and inside the burger book, there's a recipe for avocado fries. The avocado fries are one of my favorite things in the world to eat, especially with the buffalo sauce that you get in the burger book. But you want to make the breading for the avocado fries. Now you can use sprouted oat flour if you want. Just take the sprouted oats from 1 Degree, which are raw, grind them into a flour, and you can use that in place of some if not all of the almond flour. You're more than welcome to do that. I like to split the two, have like half almond flour, half sprouted oat flour for this recipe. But make the avocado fry breading, the coating. Marinate the lion's mane overnight in the barbecue craze sauce from Meal Plan 3, and then coat them in the avocado fry breading from the burger book. Then put them on the dehydrator tray and then dehydrate them for 6 hours, and you've got breaded chicken strips, and they are absolutely mind-blowingly delicious. And I love to put those in the wraps, again in the sushi. They are so umami, they're so good, and they take on that flavor. So you can marinate them in any marinade you want, and you can bread them with whatever raw breading options you have. But those are some options, and that's like a little extra bonus. I'm going to be adding some lion's mane recipes to future ebooks that are coming soon later this year. So there will be plenty of other options for that, including in the sushi book as well. So yes, Diamond Girl says, great tips. Thanks for the shout out as well. You are amazing. Yes, as mentioned, Diamond Girl, Jennifer Diamond, she has her Give Plants a Chance book in the bundle. Buy the bundle, link in the description box below, or in my bio here on Instagram. You only have 5 days left to get this bundle, and a small portion from every single sale goes to Chef AJ. So it's a great way to support yourself and support us and support her. So grab the bundle before it's gone. You get nearly $5,600 worth of downloads for only $83. You're getting all kinds of delicious stuff. If you guys want to post in the chat any questions you have. Diamond Girl says some of her recipes are raw as well. Isn't that awesome? I'm glad you mentioned that, because some people will look at the bundle and they'll be like, well, there's a lot of cooked food in there, but this bundle is about 30%, give or take, raw focused. So there's raw recipes in there. But what I wanted to say is some of the cooked vegan ebooks have accidentally raw recipes, or they've included raw recipes, or you can take some of the cooked food recipes and make them raw. For example, last year there was Amy from Broccoli Mom. She had her Indian cookbook in there, and I found a recipe for a chat salad that had the only thing that wasn't raw was the chickpeas that she put on the salad. So I just put raw sprouted chickpeas on it, and I made her recipe. So I made it raw, and you can do that too. So it's a great way to get ideas. And that's another reason why people struggle on a raw diet. They don't have enough ideas. So get the bundle, because you get so much more than just the raw stuff. You can tap into the other people's ebooks and see what you could make in there that's raw. And like Jennifer said, some of the recipes in her book are raw. Some of the recipes in Broccoli Mom book are raw. Even Lori Landry, she has her book, The Food for Better Intimacy, for your hormones, for your libido. That book is in there. She's got some raw recipes in there as well. Our group collaboration ebook has raw recipes in there too, and there's a little icon that says raw on it for the raw recipes. So there's that. There's so much content in here. I hope you guys go grab it. Again, link is in my bio. I know I sound like a broken record on this, but seriously, you get $5,600 worth of content for $49. I don't stop talking about it because I want you to have this opportunity and to be able to download all this content. Because throughout the year, you might be scrolling through, you're watching Heather on the Veg Academy or whatever, and you're like, oh, I want to get her Mexican ebook, that's $10. Or you're checking out Dr. Patrice High, and you're like, oh, I want her lifestyle roadmap, but that's $97. You buy that. Oh, and then you're following my friend Angelica, and you're like, I want to get her yin yoga class. That's $97. Or you want to get Make It Raw 3 that I wrote with Chef AJ. Like, that's $35, right? You want to buy our meditation class. That's $197. You want to watch the Dr. McDougall legacy videos. That's $99. So, instead of paying for each thing separately throughout the year, buy it now for $49 and download it all and enjoy $5,600 worth of content. So there's so much in here. People are always amazed when they get the link to download and they're like, whoa, 83 things is actually a lot of things. And it only takes 10 minutes to download everything. Just click download on each thing and it downloads to your laptop or your phone or what have you. And then back up the files so you have them forever. There's classes, there's video interviews, there's recipe books, both raw and cooked. There's tips and tricks and so many good things. Like Tammy Kramer, for example, from Nutmeg Notebook, she worked with Shada and they made the cream cheese and crackers, chips and dips. So if you're looking for something to take to a gathering of people who aren't even vegan, you could buy the bundle, download Tammy Kramer, Nutmeg Notebook's course on how to make cream cheese, crackers, chips, and dips. And you could make plant-based, healthy options that you could take to the gathering that you're hanging out with, your family, your friends, your coworkers, a potluck, whatever. Obviously, it doesn't have to be raw. You can use these recipes to help the people that you love in your life to eat healthier options. So there's that. You get that in there. Dr. Rick and Karen Dina are some of our closest, best, awesome friends. We love them so much. They are actually coming to visit us here in Las Vegas in about a week or so. They're going to come over and just hang out because we love them and they love us, and we like to make healthy food together and eat it. And their little guy is so adorable. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. So yeah, they're going to come and visit. They have their smoothie or their Powerhouse Smoothies ebook. So if you're looking for smoothies, this is the bundle for you, because you've got Dr. Rick and Karen Dina who are in there. They have their smoothie ebook. Nate's got his brand new smoothie ebook, and Meal Plan Volume 3 has 30 smoothies in it because it's 90 recipes over 30 days. So you get a brand new breakfast, lunch, and dinner for each day. And there's smoothies in there for you to make from me. So if you're looking for smoothie recipes, this is the bundle for you. You get lots of lunch recipes, salad recipes, dressing recipes. A lot of people are asking for different sauces and dressings. Meal Plan Volume 3 has dressings with all the salads. So you can make your own salad. You don't have to follow the salad ingredients that I have in there, but you can make the sauce. And if you are on my email list, I do have some free recipes that I've been emailing out for the bundle event. So if you want to join the email list and you want to get the other 5 emails that I'm going to be sending out, I think there's 2 more recipes that are coming out on those. Sign up for the email list. Send me a direct message and ask for the link, and I'll get you the link. If you sign up for the email list, you also get to download my free vegan resource guide, which has our favorite vegan movies, books, and websites on it. So if you're looking for some vegan inspiration, you can download that free guide when you join the email list. And again, we've got some free recipes coming out. We've got lots of informational stuff in the posts as well. So definitely check out the email list. I really want to get more regular with the emails, sending them out every week. We'll see how I do with that, because I've got so much to do, but I want to share more weekly emails at least with you. So more recipes in the emails and stuff like that. So please join the email list. Again, some recipes are coming the rest of the week because we only have 5 days left of the bundle. 5 days remain to get it. Link in my bio or in the description box below to enjoy. If you guys have any questions, please post in the chat. You can ask questions about raw food. You can share your challenge. Maybe we can brainstorm a way to help you eat healthier. If you're having problems with building new habits, that's a topic that I love to talk about, and I'd like to help you whenever I can. I mean, we've been live now for nearly 2 hours, but I'm more than happy to stay on and answer some of your questions. That's what I'm here for. That's why I have Raw Food Romance, because I want to help you to make healthier choices. And I'm always here in the DMs if you need help. Nate and I also have our online school community, skool.com. Just search for Raw Food Romance and that'll pop up. It's $47 a month, but being part of the community, you get recipes in there. You also get access to our live raw food classes. We do at least one a month. Most of the time we do 3. But there's a live raw food classes that are in there. There's monthly challenges. And right now we're doing a sleep challenge for the month of March. Every single day I make a post. Everyone gets to share. The group is mega active and super supportive. All the people who are in the community are absolutely amazing, beautiful souls. So if you're looking for support, and you need to connect with people every day to help remind you to eat raw, join the community. It's such an amazing place. And you can cancel anytime you want. You can join, you can watch all the replays of all the past videos, and then cancel when you're done watching them or whatever. Join the community and get access to all of that. We've got so many classes in there. Actually, if I pull up the community, again, if you want the link to the community, please send me a direct message, because it's not in my bio. You have to send me a direct message to get the link. If you want to join the community, in the classroom area, you click on live replays. These are all the videos that you get to watch. These are food prep videos where we go into great detail and we show you exactly how to make everything. So you get cheese and crackers class, part 1 and 2. Fruit roll-ups class, soup and soup prep class, burgers and fries class, a fermentation class where we make a microbiome kimchi, a vegan Thanksgiving class. We made a 5-course meal on there. Pad Thai. We teach how to grow mung beans. We teach you how to grow sprouts and microgreens and the grow-alongs. Full day meal prep for 2. This class is actually available in the bundle. So if you want a sample of the classes that you get in the community, get the bundle so you can watch that video of the food prep. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, goodness. I discovered something amazing. Before I continue here, just like a little sidetrack. I got DNA test done to see what my ancestry was, because I don't know what my ancestry was. My parents never really taught me much about our ancestry. Not a bad thing, but I really wanted to know where I came from and what the ancestry was, because I had no idea. I thought I was mostly Portuguese. Turns out I'm 39% Scottish, and I had no idea that I was even more than 2% Scottish. So I'm mostly Scottish and German. So I am fully embracing my Scottish parts. And what I discovered is when you do the DNA test, they have like a traits option. And I learned that I have a genetic trait to sneeze when I look at the sun, or when it's really sunny or really bright. I tend to sneeze, and that's genetic. I had no idea. And now it makes sense, because whenever like I go outside in bright lights or whatever, I sneeze sometimes 2 or 3 times, but it's just the light, which is so interesting. I had no idea. But continuing on, other things that you get in the community, you get the tostada class, you get the fiesta rice, wrap class. So we have a wrap class in the community that shows you how we batch prep the wraps, how we blend, how we pour, how we spread, how we dehydrate, how we store, how we fill, how we eat them, all the stuff. Anything wrap related is in that class. You get that in the community. There's also the sushi class, where we teach you our 2-sheet sushi technique to make sushi hold together a lot better. We teach 4 different sushis in there, which are going to be in the new sushi book. They're newer recipes. They'll be in the sushi book, but you get the class to watch all of those, plus 4 sauces to dip the sushi in. We also have our falafel class that we did yesterday. So we made pretend little pita wraps, and we made falafel balls and tzatziki sauce. We made that on the show. We have the ginger belief from meal plan 2. That's our like Chinese takeout one. Spaghetti and meatballs we made for Valentine's Day. The Swedish style meatballs in gravy. We did another 3-day meal prep for 2 class. gnocchi, we made lasagna. All of these classes you get to watch when you join the community. Again, $47 a month. You have to DM me to get that link because right now the only link is for the bundle. So if you want to join the community, send me a direct message and ask for the link and I will be happy to send that out to you. We also have Zoom hangout sessions where we have topics like we went through like 2 hours of dental care. We went through almost 2 hours of shopping. Nate was even on the road shopping and he came in live and showed, walking around the store and picking up some stuff. So we have like all of those. We have Raw in the Winter on one of the Zoom Hangouts. And every month we do a Zoom Hangout session. This month's Zoom Hangout session, we're going to be going over tools, all the different kitchen tools that we like to use for a raw food kitchen. So that's coming up soon. And again, like I said, you get access to the live classes. So there's a Zoom link and you can join in with all the other members and hang out with us in there. And the community is amazing. I love the community. We have so much fun in there. And it's super active. Like I said, there's so many people. But yes, if you have any questions, please post. I'm just checking to see. We do have one here. Ellen is asking, I've been struggling with oxalate overload and wondering if you have heard about that. I have heard about the theory. I personally don't buy into too much of that theory. And I personally don't worry about the whole oxalate thing because for a few reasons. Number one, 60 or more % of the oxalate that's in your body is produced by your body. It doesn't come from our diet. Most of the oxalate that's happening in here is from metabolism, specifically protein metabolism. So animal products and like stuff like collagen, that creates oxalates in the body. The body actually produces them when we metabolize the foods we eat. So it's not necessarily from the food we're eating. It's from, or it is from animal products, obviously, but it's created inside the body due to just our metabolism. We create those. Secondly, the vast majority of people who are experiencing kidney issues or kidney stones or whatever, most of them aren't even eating very many fruits and vegetables anyways. So it's not really because of that. It's mostly because, number one, people are not hydrated enough. They're not drinking enough water. Water is key to flushing all of this out and keeping our kidneys healthy. Most people are walking around dehydrated. So that is going to play into effect with kidney stones. Secondly, they're not getting enough calcium-rich foods, which buffers the oxalates in the body. So having more calcium-rich foods, like some greens that are really high in calcium that aren't as high in oxalates, are like bok choy is a really good one. But yeah, you have to have more calcium to help buffer the oxalates that your body is producing naturally. Lowering the animal product consumption can really greatly reduce the metabolic oxalates that your body produces. But like if you're really worried, just don't eat the really high oxalate foods like spinach and beet greens. We don't really eat those very much. We do eat beets. And we don't really eat a lot of almonds anyways. But our diet is pretty low in oxalates anyways. We're not worried about it all. And the third thing is you have, or supposed to have, a bacteria in your gut that inactivates or eats oxalate. And it makes it so it's not damaging to your body. These bacteria they flourish when you eat oxalate containing foods because they eat them and they grow and then they benefit you. So I personally am not worried about it. I think consuming more water, eating more calcium-rich foods, lowering your animal product intake, and you can eat lower oxalate-forming foods if that's something that you want to do. But we don't worry about it at all over here. So I hope that helps. I know it's a little different kind of a perspective on it than some people think, but I think that it's overused sometimes in certain communities. And can scare people away from eating something they aren't even really eating anyways. So it's definitely more beneficial to eat more plant foods in general. and just stay away from the ones that are really high, like the spinach. Like, we'll have spinach, but it's pretty rare. It's not often. It's not because of the oxalates. We just prefer other greens. We eat a lot of romaine, tons of romaine, lots of iceberg, arugula, dandelion greens, lots of gut-friendly greens we like to have. We also rotate our greens out, so we will have spinach, but again, like I said, it's pretty rare. We'll put them in soups, like raw soups or whatever. And if you're really super worried about it, cook your greens that are high in oxalate, because that can help to lower that amount as well. So yeah, again, not worried about that over here. If you have any other questions, again, post in the chat. I'm here to answer. I'll stick on as long as you guys have questions. I'll stay here chatting. We're talking about the bundle. We're also sharing about the bundle. We have an amazing opportunity for you to get loads of vegan content for just $49. Gets you access to download nearly $5,600 worth of content. So if you were to buy everything in the bundle separately, it would cost you around $5,600 to get it all. But for the next 5 days, you only pay $49 and you get to download it all. You download it all onto your laptop. You get to download 8 things from Nate and I, including the Align and Awaken Affirmation Meditation Challenge, Nate's brand new smoothie ebook. We've got Meal Plan 3, Make It Raw 3, Holiday Menu 3, Tales from the Tailgate, the Burger Book, and our raw food prep video class showing how we make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 people on a raw diet in an hour. So if you want to watch that class, grab the bundle. Link is in the description box below or in the bio. And please ask your questions. You guys have any questions about raw food or any challenges you have with sticking to raw food or sticking to your healthy habits? What kind of challenges are you having? I'm more than welcome to, or more than happy to share my thoughts and maybe brainstorm with you a little bit, because it can be challenging to shift our habits. We're so used to eating the same thing all the time, doing the same thing all the time. We get stuck in our comfort zones, and it is challenging to change because we've just built these habits up over years and years and years and years, and these belief systems and these ideas. And then we've got the internet, which is full of misinformation and old information. That's another thing that kind of bothers me, is the old information that keeps getting regurgitated and shared that has been debunked for decades. Like the blood type diet, for example, that was debunked decades ago, but people see it and they're like, oh yeah, this is great. So they share about it, and then other people share about it, and then they think it's new information, but it's actually old information that has been debunked. So it's really important to keep up with the new information that's coming in, because as we are human beings, we shift and we change and we learn different things. So it's important to keep up on that as well. Fruit Friend Scotland says, how to deal with bloating. Great question. I'm glad you asked this. Again, if you have any questions, anybody, please post in the chat, because I'm more than happy to chat with you about certain things. Okay, so bloating and gas. Number one, I'd like to say, gas is completely normal. Gas is your bacteria growing and fermenting food and making short chain fatty acids that are anti-inflammatory and good for you. But I will say, I know people say, well, but it hurts, it's painful. That's the problem. When it becomes painful and it hurts and it's uncomfortable, that's when you know you've just overdone it. Doesn't mean that gas is bad. It just means there's too much and your gut is weak and it can't deal with the amount of fiber that you're consuming. So I learned this from Dr. Will Bulsiewicz. He wrote Fiber Fueled, which I highly recommend for anyone who's interested in gut health. Fiber Fueled is an amazing book. I read it in 2021, and that's when I started my gut challenge, or my gut journey, I guess, to improve my gut. And I went from an 83% out of 100 score to over 96% gut score, which is the highest gut score that I've seen anyone from the test that I've done. So I have an incredibly strong gut, and I have very low gas issues because I fed and grew my microbiome. Now, when you have excessive gas and bloating that is painful, it's just a sign that you ate too much fiber for your gut at this time. It doesn't mean that fiber's bad or that fiber's not human food. It just means that your gut needs a little bit more slow transition. Think about the gut like you would building muscle in the gym. So if you usually have a low fiber diet, that would be like laying on the couch all day, right? You're not going to the gym, you're not moving your body, you're not really using your muscles very much. Just like a low fiber diet, you're not using your gut microbiome as much. So it atrophies, it becomes weak on a low fiber diet over time. And that's why foods that are low fiber feel good. For example, animal products have 0 fiber in them, and people will eat them and they're like, I don't have any gas anymore. But you're not even eating any fiber, so you're not actually feeding your good bacteria at all, which can be scary. Like, we want to feed those guys because they give us stuff that we need. We live symbiotically with them. So what you want to do is, I think Siri's talking to me over here. Anyways, what you want to do is go slow. So just like at the gym, if you're used to laying on the couch, which would be just like eating a low fiber diet, you don't want to just go into the gym and start lifting 80-pound weights. You want to go in the gym and start with the 5-pound weights and be consistent with the 5-pound weights. And then when you're ready, you move up to the 10-pound weights. And as your muscles grow, you can increase the weight. Same with your gut microbiome. As your gut grows, you can increase the fiber amount. So think of eating fiber like lifting weights in the gym. Take your time and go slow and slowly increase your fiber. Because if somebody goes from a 5-gram a day fiber diet, which is a very, very low fiber diet, to an 80-gram a day fiber diet, they're going to get a lot of gas and there's going to be a lot of action going on in there because you're giving your gut a huge amount of fiber to work through, and there's just not enough of them to do it right now. But the more you feed them, the more you have slower increments, like you raise the grams slower and slower every day, every week, every month, every year, you're building your gut microbiome. And that's how you build a strong gut. And over time, the gas and bloating gets less and less as you build your gut better and better. But you're never going to fully get rid of 100% of your gas, because gas is created from your good bacteria when they are making you those beneficial things like butyric acid, the propionate, the acetate. These are the short chain fatty acids that are anti-inflammatory. They're anti-cancer. They fuel your colon cells. They heal your colon. Like especially the butyrate, that heals your colon from like leaky gut and stuff. So you have to eat the fiber to get that. But when they create those things, they create a little gas, and it's okay to have a little gas. It's totally normal, totally fine. It's a sign that your microbiome is working. It's when it gets painful and it hurts, that's when you need to just pull back a little bit on the fiber and then go a little bit slower. So hopefully that helps. Again, eating a wide variety of fibers can help grow a stronger gut as well. So having as much as different variety that you can. Looking to have around 30 or more different plants in your diet every week is a great start. So work there. Try to get a wide variety of fruits and vegetables in so that you can grow your gut. Fruit Friend Scotland says, do you only eat sprouted beans? Yes. So when it comes to beans, I don't eat all beans sprouted. The 4 things, think 4 things: chickpeas or garbanzo beans. And it's okay to ask questions. Please ask me anything. I am so happy to help you guys. Definitely. I want you to ask questions. That's the whole point of me being here, is to help you. So 4 beans that I eat that are sprouted: garbanzo beans, chickpeas, mung beans, peas of all kinds. So that's like green peas, speckled peas, black-eyed peas, any peas you can sprout, and lentils. Lentils should actually be number 1. But yeah, so those are the 4 that I do sprouted, and those are the 4 that I think are ideal. We never, ever, 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 ever want to sprout and eat red kidney beans. Red kidney beans can make you sick if you sprout them, and they can even make you sick if you don't cook them properly. So you have to cook them at very high heats for a longer period of time to make them okay. Otherwise, they're going to make you sick. They're going to get some symptoms, digestive upset and things like that. So you don't want to eat raw kidney beans. That's why I don't do beans. I don't do the big beans. I really don't do like lima beans or navy beans or black beans, really. Those are not part of our diet. But lentils, for sure. Lentils all around. You can sprout lentils, you can eat those raw. We like to freeze them and then thaw them the next day, and it softens the texture so they're more like a steamed or like a boiled lentil, so kind of softer to eat. We like to put those in raw stews. In fact, speaking of raw stews and speaking of the freeze thaw method, we learned that from Chris Kendall. Chris Kendall has 2 ebooks in the bundle. He's got his stews, his Cravings Busters Stews ebook, and his 21-day summer meal plan. His stews ebook has a lot of things like adzuki beans, which you can sprout. He's got the lentils and things like that, where he freezes them and then thaws them to give it that softer, more cooked-like texture. It's not quite like cooked, but it's close. It's a lot softer than like a raw sprout. Which you can do. Freezing and thawing is a totally acceptable raw vegan technique. Is if you freeze it yourself and you don't blanch it or pasteurize it, obviously it's going to be raw. So that technique we learned from Chris Kendall and Dr. Rick. We were on the phone with Dr. Rick, and he was like, I Kendallized the vegetables. So he's like using Chris Kendall's last name as the term for freeze thaw method is Kendallizing. So we're Kendallizing the beans by freezing and thawing. We're Kendallizing the carrots by freezing and thawing. It's a cute way of saying that. But he's got 2 ebooks in the bundle. You can get the bundle from the link in my bio or in the description box below. So if you want to make a wide range of raw vegan stews that are absolutely delicious, I love his Ethiopian lentil wat stew. Oh my gosh, that is so good. It's one of my favorites from his ebook. I highly recommend, if you bought the bundle, download his stews ebook and make that stew. It's so good. But again, you can sprout those 4: chickpeas, mung beans, any pea, black-eyed peas, speckled peas, green peas, and lentils. All the different kinds of lentils. You can do beluga lentils and crimson lentils and French lentils, and there's all different kinds of lentils. You can sprout them all, and they're all totally fine to eat sprouted. So yes, I do eat sprouted those things. Not necessarily all of them. Fruit Friend Scotland says, sorry for all the questions. I'm so grateful to you, Lissa. You are such an inspiration. And thank you for asking the questions. I want you guys to ask questions so that I can help you, inspire you to maybe try something different and add more raw food to your diet. We've got another one in here. How do you thaw frozen lentils or other sprouted beans? I tried thawing mine and they became mushy beans. I tried thawing mine and it didn't finish. But okay, so what we do is the whole point is to get them softer. So what we like to do is after we have sprouted them, when they have like little tiny tails, I would say like roughly about half the size of the bean itself or the lentil. Again, we don't do all beans. Like we don't do black beans, we don't do red kidney beans, we don't do navy beans or white beans or whatever. We do chickpeas, mung beans, all peas, and lentils. So those are the 4 that we do. So when I refer to sprouted legumes, those are the 4 that I'm referring to. But what we do is we sprout them until they have little tails. The chickpeas, you don't even need to have the tails. You just soak it for 48 hours straight, 2 days straight. Then you sprout it for 24 hours, and then you can rinse and drain and freeze. So you don't have to wait until they have tails. Some of them do get tails, but you don't have to wait on those. The lentils, we wait until they're about 3 millimeters. That's when we like them the most. One of the problems you might be experiencing with the mushy is that you're letting the tails go too long, and those tails will be mushy when you freeze them. So maybe wait until they're only like maybe 3 millimeters, which isn't long. Basically soaking the lentils overnight and then sprouting for 24 hours and you're ready to go. You don't have to wait until they're long tails. You can just wait until they have those itty bitty tiny little 3 millimeter tails, not even the size of the bean. Rinse them really well, drain them really well, and then what we like to do is freeze them in 1 cup containers so we know we have exactly 1 cup of lentils when we pull them out of the freezer. We don't put them all in one big bag because then we have to like scoop them out and sometimes they're all frozen together. So we freeze them in individual containers. So we just take the container out of the fridge and we know we have 1 cup of lentils or chickpeas or 2 cups of chickpeas, or you could even freeze them in 1 cup portions if that's or half cup portions if that's the amount that you want. So choose the amount that you want to freeze and then freeze them in little containers containers. And then when you need them, all we do is we take like the fine mesh metal strainers, we put them in there frozen and we just pour warm water over it. It doesn't have to be hot water, just warm water, or you could just let them sit in the sink for a few hours and just let them thaw with the room temperature. But that's how we do it, and we don't find them mushy at all. And I think maybe it could be the longer tails for you if they have longer tails. I don't know what yours look like, but the longer tails will be more mushy because they're a finer, more delicate fiber, and they're gonna mush really fast. So just wait until they have like itty bitty little tiny tails, and then freeze them. And they'll be much better, much more enjoyable. But again, they're not going to be like cooked food. It's kind of in between raw and cooked. It's got that like softer texture. They're still crunchy, but they are more enjoyable than straight up raw. So yes, ask those questions in the chat. Anything about raw food, habit building, anything about the bundle. We've got the bundle going on right now. Please go grab it if you haven't yet. Link is in my bio here or in the description box below. If you're watching on YouTube, you get $5,600 worth of content for $49. All you pay is the $49, and you get emailed a link to download all the content. It's all yours. Download it onto your device and enjoy all of the stuff that we have for you. It's an amazing opportunity. You're getting 8 things from Nate and I, including my brand new $200 Affirmation course, Nate's brand new smoothie book. You get the burger book, Tales from the Tailgate, our raw travel book. You get Make It Raw 3, Meal Plan 3, Holiday Menu 3. There's just so much content in there. And there's other raw stuff from other raw people. About 30% of the bundle is raw focused. So there's that as well. Catherine says, unfortunately, I don't have a silicone mat with rim yet. Will the wraps still turn out well in the dehydrator if I place them only on regular sheets? Great question. The ones with the lips, they're pretty inexpensive, so I would definitely recommend checking in and getting those, but you can make them on the flat trays. It's just that they're gonna end up, going thin on the edges, which is totally fine. You're gonna wanna make sure that they're roughly 1/4 of an inch thick when you spread it. If you spread it too thick, it's not gonna dry right. If you spread it too thin, they're gonna crack. So you wanna make sure it's roughly around 1/4 of an inch thick. And that's why I love the trays with the edges, because you can spread it in there. Not every wrap recipe is going to fill it exactly to 1/4 inch, but that's why I say roughly. You want to have it roughly 1/4 of an inch thick across the entire wrap. So yes, you can make them on the solid dehydrator trays. It is possible if you keep it to 1/4 inch thick all the way around, and they might take a little faster to dry if they don't have the edges. So check on them around 10 hours in and see how they are. Make sure that when you push your finger into the wrap in the center, there's no dimple. Like the dimpling means that they're not done yet. So just leave them in there. Every wrap is going to take a different amount of dehydration time, and it also depends on your dehydrator. Smaller dehydrators are going to take longer. And it also depends on how many trays you have in the dehydrator. If we do one batch in a 9 tray, that's 2 trays worth of wraps, because one batch makes 2 trays of the 14 by 14. If we put 2 trays in a 9 tray, it takes around 10 hours. If we put 4 trays in a 9 tray, it takes around 18 hours. If we use all 9 trays, but if we put 8 wraps in there, it takes around 30 to 32 hours to dry all of those, and they don't fully dry. The reason being is that the more things you put in the dehydrator, the more moisture is trapped inside, especially if you have a smaller dehydrator. Everything's going to take longer to dry. That's why I recommend the 9 tray dehydrators. They're so much better. So there's that. Hopefully that helps. And again, that's why I recommend the 9 trays, because the 9 trays are really helpful to making sure that you have adequate airflow and everything dries at a better rate. It's so much easier that way. But yeah, do you guys have any other questions? We see Raw Vegan Mama's in the house. She's got 2 ebooks in the bundle. Again, buy the bundle, link in the bio. We've got Wendy who joined as well. Welcome everybody. Nice sweater. Thank you. I love this sweater. I told a story the other day on a live about this sweater. We were out doing errands, and it got really cold really fast. And I was just in a tank top, and we were in Oregon at the time, so it just got really cold really fast. I didn't have a jacket with me, and I needed something. So we're running errands, and I was like, let's just stop. I think it was Target. It was either Target or Walmart, a place that I don't normally shop at. But I was like really cold, and I'm like, it'll be a great place to go grab a sweater. So I think it was Target. I went in there and I just looked around at all the sweaters, and I was like, oh, that's cute. It was this one. And it's become one of my favorite sweaters. I absolutely love it. So I'm like grateful for that day that I got cold outside and I needed something to cover me up. But yeah, that's the story behind that sweater. Catherine says, how do you store the wraps? Great question. I have a video on YouTube showing how we store the wraps for travel. So we store them two different ways. You have these two options. You do not need to freeze the wraps. Some people do. I find the wraps crack, and I don't want cracked wraps when I take them out of the freezer. You can freeze them if you want to, but they're a dried food. It would be like freezing crackers. It's kind of pointless to freeze crackers because they're already dry. They just, you just leave them and they're fine. So you don't have to freeze them. You don't have to put them in the fridge until you fill them with stuff, right? Obviously, fresh food, you got to keep it in the fridge, but the wraps are a dried food. You don't need to keep them in the fridge or the freezer. The first way that we store the wraps, when we are at home, we leave the tray in the dehydrator with the wrap on it. We take the door off so that you have adequate airflow, and we turn the dehydrator off. And we just leave them in there, and that's how they store. They just sit in the dehydrator until we're ready to eat them, and we just pull it out, peel it off, and eat it right then. The other way that we store them is mostly for travel. So when we are traveling, we don't want to take the silicone trays with us because we only have so many and they're heavy. So we don't want to take those silicone trays with us. So what we do is we peel the wrap off the silicone tray, and then we separate them with parchment paper. So we reuse the parchment paper. I mean, we've been reusing it now for like 2 years, the same parchment paper. We just keep them in between the wraps, and we can fit about anywhere between 8 to 12 wraps in a Ziploc bag that we leave unzipped. Remember, moisture is not good for dried food, right? Any dried food, we know this. Any moisture makes them soggy, so you want to avoid moisture as much as you can. That's why I avoid the freezer and the fridge, because there's moisture buildup, and that's why we don't seal the bag, because there can be moisture buildup. So we leave it open, separated by parchment, and we can fit around, like I said, like 8 to 12 wraps. You could probably stuff more in there too. Separated by parchment again, and that just sits in our cupboard, or we take it traveling with us. So we have it in a suitcase if we take them on the airplane. We can put those in there so we can take wraps with us traveling. We have them usually in the bag, in the back seat when we go camping or road tripping or whatever. We just have those wraps so that we can go to the grocery store and fill them with random grocery ingredients when we are on location. So those are the two ways that we store the unwrapped wraps. My husband's in the chat. He says, you are so amazing and gorgeous. I love you so much. Thank you, my love. Ron88 is amazing. If you are in the chat, go follow him because he's doing a smoothie challenge every single day. He's got 5 days left of his smoothie challenge. Every day he's making smoothies. I'm still drinking mine. It's so good. His smoothie book is part of the bundle. So if you go get the bundle now, link in my bio or in the description box below, you can get his brand new smoothie ebook, nearly 350 pages of smoothie informational stuff. He shows how to make a smoothie, why you want to eat smoothies, blah, 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 all that stuff. He's got 45 recipes in there. It's loaded. So go grab the bundle and you get to download that. But yeah, that's how we do the wraps. You can store them those two different ways. It's nice to just store them in the dehydrator, but you can store them the travel way as well. When we made the wraps for Chef AJ for Christmas and New Year's, we got to go hang out with Chef AJ for New Year's Eve. We got to spend time with her New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We stayed at their house and it was so much fun. And for Christmas, we gave her 12 wraps. We gave her 12 wraps for the 12 days of Christmas, and she was overjoyed, and we just stored them all in one bag. We also like to put the deli papers in the bag too, so we have the deli papers readily available so we can wrap the wraps once we fill them. And those lasted in the bag unsealed, just on her counter for like, I'm going to say like 6 weeks. And we made them about a week or so before we even went. So they last a long time. As long as you keep them away from moisture, you can make a whole bunch of them. Oh, look. Come sit here. Come sit here.
I have, now I'll go shopping.
Oh, you haven't even gone shopping yet?
I was going to go shopping, but I remembered that I had my class. So.
Oh, you were doing the class.
So, doing the class. What's up, everybody? Good to see you.
Yes,
oh, look
to
it.
see you.
Hey, it's us.
Oh, it's the Matrix.
Whoa.
Woo. Oh, that's awesome.
Let's wait until I hold the phone up, just for fun.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it. Ready? Oh, it's the Matrix. That's too fun. Oh, my gosh. Aww.
All right,
so you're going now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been on the whole time?
I've been on the entire time.
Yeah. Since
11.
So 11, 12... Well, yeah, over 2
like
hours.
Almost 2.5 hours here we've been live.
You guys are having all kinds of fun.
Just been answering questions.
Good.
And again, if you guys have any questions, post in the chat. We love answering them. So yes, get in the chat, ask questions. If you have any challenges with raw food or questions about the bundle or whatever, we were just chatting around. And,
and you know, you don't have to be a raw foodie or a vegan to enjoy more raw food. Mm-hmm. Just crowd out the other stuff with more raw food. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, drink your smoothie.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I challenge you to drink a smoothie every single morning for the next 5 days. I'm doing a smoothie challenge, which Lissa told you 9 a.m. every day. It's amazing how good you can feel when you drink a smoothie. Mm-hmm. Start your day off with a smoothie.
Yep, extra hydration.
Yeah.
Get those calories in so you feel full throughout the day.
All right.
Yep. Okay. All right. Yes, everybody, if you have questions, you know what to do. Post in the chat below.
We're gonna kiss.
Aw, you're sure.
Look, we're gonna kiss.
Oh, that's so cute. It's neat. It's delayed. The live. So. If you have any questions, post there. I'm willing to stay live. I know we've been live now for almost 2.5 hours, sharing all about the bundle that's going on right now. You have 5 days left to get this bundle. Huh?
Show them how to download it.
Oh, I could show you how to download. I might do a different live for that because I want to go on Zoom and share that with everybody. But it's pretty easy to download. If you're downloading to your laptop, all you do is go to the email that you get when you buy the bundle. You pay $49, you get a link, and you get to download 83 things. So just click download, get it on your laptop, get it on your device, and open it from your device. So you no longer need the email to access all the files. They'll all be on your device, and you'll be able to keep those forever until you delete them. You don't want to delete them, and that's why we recommend putting them in backup as well. Mwah! He's going shopping because we need some food. We need some tomatoes. We need some lion's mane mushroom, as I mentioned earlier in today's live. We have been absolutely loving the lion's mane mushroom. I want to make like a chicken quesadilla recipe, which will be coming later on. So I want to practice playing with that. I've got some ideas for that. Gonna be really delicious. And so go grab the bundle. If you guys don't have any questions, then I might sign off. But if you do, please take this opportunity to ask the questions you have. If you have struggles with raw food, questions about raw food, questions about the bundle, well, we got one right now. Do you guys drink coffee or black tea? So I don't drink coffee. Nate will have it every once in a while. Like if we're doing a really long road trip, like 13 hours, he'll get some coffee to keep him awake and keep us safe. He does drink decaf a little bit every once in a while, but I don't drink any coffee. I get heart flutters, and I can't even do cacao after noon. If I do eat any cacao in the evening, I stay up a lot longer than I want to. So I don't like doing any caffeine items, anytime after noon. So, I'll have some like cacao in the morning in a smoothie, cacao, banana, date, vanilla. So delicious. I really enjoy that. You could also do carob instead, but I don't do any coffee. Coffee is not part of my lifestyle, and I don't foresee myself ever consuming it. I also don't do black tea either. Again, caffeine. But I will do herbal teas every once in a while. I like cold brewed teas. And in Nate's smoothie book, he's got cold brew tea as the base for some of the smoothies. You can cold brew hibiscus. It adds a little extra vitamin C. And cold brewing, all you have to do is room temperature water overnight with the tea in it. Cold brews the tea, so you can use that in your smoothies. You can put it in your dressings or whatever, just to give a little extra herbal bonus to that. But yeah, Catherine's asking, when you make sushi, do you go for the raw nori sheets or do you just use the regular ones? Good question. As a raw foodie, we do the raw sheets. Untoasted nori, there is a company, I don't remember the name of the company, but it's raw nori. Let me just see if I can find it here. Raw nori. It just says certified organic raw nori sheets. Rawnori.com. There you go. Rawnori.com. You can get them on Amazon. When we buy them on Amazon, we buy the 100 packs. It's like 2 packs of 50. So we get 100 of them for $40, give or take. And that lasts us quite a while. We keep them in vacuum sealed bags so they stay fresh, and they are wonderful. They're a little more chewy than the toasted ones, so keep that in mind. But we find them to be a lot better for the raw sushi. And as long as you don't make the sushi and let it sit for like 5 hours in the air, they're going to be really good, because they do get hard if you let them sit for a while after you make the sushi, but you want to eat it right away. So yeah, rawnori.com. That's where we get our nori, our raw nori, untoasted. Do you ever have specials on your community? I missed it when you first started it. Colleen, great question. So right now the community is $47 a month or $444 a year. If you pay for the year in advance, again, no refunds, you just get to use up the rest of the year if you cancel. But $444 a year makes it, I think, $39 a month or $37 or something like that. So it is cheaper to get the year if you wanted to. But we will be doing a special in July for the community. I'm not going to say what the sale is going to be. It won't be the founding member sale. It'll never be the founding member sale, because the founding member sale is only for the founding members, so they got a special sale. But it will be a discounted price, and we will have that on sale for the entire month of July. So if you want to join the community, July will be the time to join. Again, you can always join now, but you'll want to join in July. If you really want to get that discount, join in July to get into the community for a discount. And when you get in at the discount, you always pay that price every month until you cancel. If you cancel and then come back, you pay the regular price. So you want to lock in that price and stay in the community if you want to always have that special price. So again, July, we're going to be doing a really special collaboration in July. And that's why we're going to be running this special. So July is going to be a really great, beautiful month. Focused on animal activism as well. So it's going to be pretty vegan focused, and it's going to be a great time for you to join the community. If you have been wanting to, July is the time. So mark your calendars, come back, join the community in July if you want to get that discount. Otherwise, right now it's $47 a month. And you're more than welcome to join for a month or two and cancel, but you won't get the discount unless you're like out of the community. So you have to wait until your period ends before you can join again. So you'd want to cancel, like if you did join for $47, you'd want to cancel by say like end of April. And then that would use up the rest of the time, and then you could get in July or end of May. Really, you could probably stick to end of May, but yeah. So that's happening in July. We've got some cool stuff happening in May. We're going to be at, by the way, Nate and I are going to be at the Vegan Wellness Retreat in Michigan, August 10th to the 14th. We're going to be doing food demos at the Vegan Wellness Retreat. You're going to want to come to that because it's going to be massive. I think there's over 30 speakers who are going to be there, all into the raw food thing. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be activities. Families can come. It's awesome. We're going to be camping. So we're going to be camping with everybody else, and you're going to want to come. If you want to come, send me a direct message. I will send you a link to book your spot. There's only a few camping spots left for this retreat, and you get $100 off if you use code ROMANCE100. That'll get you $100 off, and you'll be able to come hang out with us. It's 4 days of immersive raw foodie vegan awesomeness. So hope to see you in August. Again, it's August 10th to the 14th. Send me a DM and I will get you the link and the code for that if you want to join in. Colleen says, I'll see you in Vegas with Chef AJ. Yes. And then after that, at the end of August, we are doing an event with Chef AJ. We are going to be doing food demos there as well. So please come to that. It's here in Las Vegas, probably pretty close to where we live. So it's going to be really nice for us to just hop on down. So that is happening end of August. You're going to want to attend that as well. So many cool things happening this year. We've got a lot going on. At the end of this month, we're going to Mexico with Chef AJ, and then we've got May is the release of the sushi book. Nate's going to have his new book coming in May as well. July will be the sale on the community. August will be retreat time and conference time. And we're going to try and fit a lot of camping trips in there somewhere. But yes, please support us and support yourself by getting the bundle. Link is in the description box below or in my bio here on Instagram. And you can enjoy so much amazing content from so many amazing vegan creators. That's what's happening right now. You only have 5 days left to get this bundle, and you know where to go to get it, so that you can download all the content. If you have any questions, please post below. If not, maybe we'll end this 2.5 hour live and I can finish my smoothie. But thank you so much for joining. I don't see any other questions, so we are going to sign off unless I see something pop up. Thank you again for joining me for these lives, for keeping me company, for hanging out, for asking questions, and most importantly, for making positive choices for yourself by grabbing the bundle, link in my bio or in the description box below. Please go grab it before it's gone. If you want to see everything that you get in the bundle, just go to the link in my bio or in the description box below, and you'll be able to see everything that you get for $49. It's all on the website. You can also see all the lives that are going on right now. Just go to the website and click on the 2025 live event schedule, and you'll be able to see all the lives that are going on among the different contributors. You can see all the lives that are happening on Chef AJ Live, and the ones that other people are doing. You can see all our lives on there as well that are planned for the next 5 days. Because this bundle event is really fun. We get to come on here and connect with you and chat with you and help your questions. Catherine is asking, how long have you been raw vegan now? Thank you for asking a question. I will stay on as long as I need to. As long as there's questions, I will stay here. I have been raw vegan now 10.5 years almost. So my 10-year raw anniversary was September 12th. Just of last year, so 2024, I celebrated my 10-year raw. So raw food, every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks is all raw. Haven't had any cooked food, and it's been amazing. It's been incredible, in fact. My gut health has improved dramatically. My cystic acne has disappeared. My brain fog has disappeared. My hormones have balanced. My joint pain is gone. And I feel amazing. I prefer raw food, so that's why I stick with raw food. I love creating it. It's amazing. It's hydrating. It's easy to clean up, and it's awesome. Sweet Tiana says, is the bundle the same as the raw vegan bundle? Good question. So there are a few things in this bundle that were in last year's raw bundle. So if you got last year's raw bundle, you might have a few duplicates in this one, like Make It Raw 3 and the Tales from the Tailgate. But this vegan health bundle has new stuff in it from us. You get the Align and Awaken Affirmation Meditation Challenge that I sell for $197. You get that in this bundle. You also get Nate's brand new smoothie ebook in this bundle, which was not in the past bundle as well. The raw bundle that's coming is completely new. So you will not have anything that is in the next raw bundle, because the raw bundle is always brand new stuff. So you're going to want to wait for that one as well. But get this one too, because the raw stuff that's in this one will not be in the raw bundle that's coming soon. So please go check out the bundle. Get both of them, because you're going to get lots of raw content regardless. And yes, Catherine, yes, it's been 10 years that I've been following a raw diet, and it's my favorite thing in the world to do. I feel so amazing. I just turned 45, and I believe I'm in perimenopause. I don't really have any symptoms at all. The only symptom that I have is that my cycles are getting shorter and shorter. Like instead of being 28 to 30 days, I'm 26 to 28 days. So they're getting a little shorter. But other than that, I don't notice anything. And I believe that my supportive diet and the huge amount of liver support that my diet provides from like all the cruciferous veggies and the inulin rich things, my gut health and all of that has kept my symptoms at bay if I am in perimenopause, which I believe I am. I'm 45, so it's coming. Catherine saying, do you eat fermented food like sauerkraut and kimchi? Yes, I love fermented foods. I think they are a cornerstone of a healthy gut microbiome. We eat a lot of kimchi every day. Pretty much every day we have kimchi. At least I do. Nate doesn't always have it, but he has it pretty much every day too. And I like the chunky kimchi with the cubes. That's my favorite. But we have our own kimchi recipe, which we have a class in the community. If you join the community, you get access to watch that class where we make a microbiome kimchi. And in the sushi book, we're going to have a kimchi recipe as well, like a spicy kimchi. And sauerkraut. Also, sauerkraut is so easy to make. So easy to make. You can make it at home. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there showing how to make sauerkraut. Super simple. And it's a great source of probiotics for your microbiome. And it's loaded with nutrition. So it's not necessarily rotting food. Because a lot of people will say oh, I don't want to eat rotting food. But it's enzymatically available. Enzymes are super active, the bacteria is super active, and the nutrition is higher because it's partially digested by the bacteria. So fermented foods are incredible. We follow a raw and living food diet. When I say living foods, it means usually ferments, because some fermented food is cooked first. For example, tempeh. We don't eat a lot of tempeh because the tempeh you buy in the store is pasteurized. They have to pasteurize it for shelf stability and for safety purposes. They pasteurize the stuff in the store. So we don't eat store-bought tempeh. But if we make tempeh ourselves, or we go to a farmer's market where they sell unpasteurized tempeh, we will eat that. And we consider that to be a living food. So we eat raw food, and we eat living food. So that is food that has been fermented, even if it's been cooked first. So tempeh falls in that category, but it has to be unpasteurized. Miso falls in that category, but it has to be unpasteurized. Natto falls in that category, but it has to be non-pasteurized. Any fermented food needs to be non-pasteurized for it to be considered a living food, even if it was cooked first. Because when you cook it first, you give the bacteria more access to the nutrients, so it ferments a lot better, but it makes it alive again. So it's we're watching The Walking Dead right now, so it's coming back from the dead in a way. You're taking the cooked food and you're making it alive again with the bacterial and the enzymatic properties and the nutrition that comes with it too. The nutrition goes up as things are fermented. So those are things we eat. We eat a raw and living food diet. So I hope that clarifies a little bit. It's a good topic to talk about because there are some people who won't do the fermented foods because they've been cooked first, but they are actually better than the cooked portion of the food because they are bacterially active and enzymatically active and much higher in nutrition. For example, natto. Natto is one of the highest food sources of vitamin K2. It's incredible the amount of K2 that's in there. And K2 is usually something that most of us struggle with because of the atrophy of our gut microbiomes in general. Our microbiomes convert vitamin K1 that comes from mostly leafy greens and vegetables. We get a lot of vitamin K1 from there. But K1 is also converted into K2 from our bacteria. And we need K2 for strong teeth, strong bones, healthy bodies. So we need vitamin K2 as well. And some of us who have weak microbiomes aren't fully converting the K1 into K2. So having something that is already converted, the bacteria convert it for us because that's what they do in our guts. And that's what they're doing in the natto. So you can take natto and get a huge dose of vitamin K2, which is really good for bone health, especially as we age. We know our bone density can go down. And speaking of bone density, lifting weights is ideal for maintaining healthy bone density. And I know a lot of people will say, well, vegans have lower bone density. And that could be true because vegans tend to be lower in weight than the average population. And people who are overweight tend to have better bone density because they carry a lot more weight, which puts pressure on the bones, which creates a stronger bone density. It's the weight that you're carrying on your bones. So if you are more lean, it's recommended that you lift weights to maintain your bone density or build your bone density. We want to put pressure on our bones, so lifting weights, and also walking around with a weighted vest or a backpack. Like if you go for a walk, put like 15, 20 pounds in your backpack and just go for a walk. It's going to put that pressure on your bones to improve your bone density. Especially, like I said, if you are on the leaner side, you're going to want to make sure that you have that pressure on your bones to maintain healthy bone density, especially as we age. And K2 plays a role in that. We need to have adequate amounts of calcium, K2, boron, and some other minerals, magnesium as well, to build healthy bones. Without it, we can't actually build that bone density. So we want to combine the diet with the weights so that we can have healthy bone density as we age. Because as we age, everything lowers. We want to support it so it lowers a little slower as we age. Because there's no guarantee, there's no 100% immortality with raw food. We're all going to age. We're all eventually going to pass away. It's just the way it is. And we want to have the longest, healthiest, best quality of life while we are here. We want to enjoy our families. We want to enjoy our time. We want to help others. And we need to have a healthy body in order to do that. So grab the bundle because the bundle has tons of resources to help you do that. You can get the link in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube. And with that, I think I will call it. We don't have any other questions. We haven't gotten any questions. So thank you for joining me today. I truly appreciate you spending time with me. Again, it's been almost 3 hours. So it's a nice long one. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And I hope you go grab the bundle. Again, link is in my bio or in the description box below. We will see you tomorrow for some more lives. We've got plenty of lives coming. If you want to see the live event schedule, go to the bundle link in my bio or in the description box below and click on the 2025 live event schedule. You'll be able to see all the lives that are happening over the next 5 days. Patricia says, you're beautiful and so sweet to answer questions. Thank you so much for asking the questions. I love when people ask questions because it's my favorite thing to do is help you as much as I possibly can. Hit says, have a great day. See you later, everybody. Again, we'll be back tomorrow for more lives. Until then, as always, fruit on.